Hi, and welcome to John McConnell Stadium. It's Jeff Matthews and Levi Gilbert. Stats is over there ready to go, and we've got playoff action tonight. Conway taking on the Rogers Mounties. Deja vu all over again, Levi, as this is exactly the situation we were in 52 weeks ago tonight.
Yeah, this is, hey, anytime you say the word playoffs, it's something to get excited about. And I like how you were, quoting a Yankee there.
Well, you like that?
Intentionally.
Of course I did. I always do that for you. But this is the 9th year in a row that the Wampus Cats have been in the playoffs. There had been a little bit of a dry spell, but ever since Coach Ashcraft got here, this team's been in the playoffs every single year. 5-8 record in the playoffs under Coach Ashcraft, looking to get a win tonight and moving on to the second round. Had a chance to talk to Coach Ashcraft yesterday. We'll have that for you in just a moment. Then we'll have Levi's concerns, worries, his game note.
They're worries. It's the playoffs, Jeff. I'm only stressed and worried all the time now.
Worries are on the way. Then we'll have the kickoff of Conway and Rogers first round playoffs coming up on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Hi, and welcome to the Coach Clint Ashcraft Show. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by Coach Ashcraft. We're getting ready for the first round playoff game as the Wampus Cats will host Rogers. Prior to that, let's talk about the regular season. Coach, 7-3 season, lost in the season against Bryan and then North Little Rock, two of the top teams in the state. After that first game against Springdale, your team really had a successful season.
Yeah, I thought they played really good. I think they do continue to get better each week. Our guys keep working hard and they're doing good things in the weight room too, which can be a grind. Yep. So really proud of them and the way they've stayed focused.
And staying in the weight room and to where we are right now, the strength training that they do, that doesn't end just because the season is in week 10 or now week 11.
No, I mean, we're going to lift, 3 or 4 days a week. I think that's something that everybody's doing. It's something that you can't overlook or undervalue at all.
Injuries haven't been necessarily a part of the story on the offensive side of the ball. Getting some guys back on defense. It's great to see Kane Aaron.
Yeah, he's back, and I think you saw a little bit of energy from him. Mm-hmm. I think he is a little out of shape, but he's working hard to get himself back in shape. It's just you can do all the running, conditioning you want, but there's nothing like playing.
Offensively, we know this. Michael George out at the end of the game. Will McKenna looked like he got banged up pretty bad.
Yeah, not sure how those guys are going to pan out this week.
Yeah.
Like you said, we've been real lucky. Mm-hmm. And last week we kind of got hit pretty hard there with those two and Nathan having to leave the game. But I thought some guys stepped in and whether they can play or can't play, it's next man up mentality.
All right, that next man up is going to be against Rogers. What can you tell us about the same team we played this week last year?
Yeah, I mean, they're offensively, number 4 is a really good player for them. The quarterback is just a sophomore, but he is
some good size, 6'4".
Large person, can throw the ball, 50, 60 yards in the air. So we're going to have to do a good job in the back end. They move number 4 around all over the place. It's just kind of how many ways can we get him the ball. He's a good athlete. And then defensively, they're going to do some things in the box to kind of confuse our guys or try to confuse our guys. So we've got to handle that side of it. And that'll start with Andrew and the offensive line.
I know there was disappointment following the Bryant loss, but how quickly were you able to get the guys back focused to the ultimate goal? Because it's still out there.
Well, that's what we told them. What did we lose? A number in a playoff bracket. The bye week was part of the deal. But, it just depends on who you talk to. A lot of people want to play, and a lot of people would like to rest. But, it is what it is. We haven't lost any of our goals. Our end of the season goals are all still attainable. We just got to stay focused, keep working.
All right, we'll tee it up, see how it goes. Rogers and Conway coming up next on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
The captains are at midfield. Matt Lloyd, Keandre Clay, Dantes Hammonds, and Jordan Wicks are the captains for the Wampus Cats tonight. As they are going through the coin toss, we'll talk about the game tonight. Rogers and Conway. Rogers comes in 5-5. Conway is 7-3. The Cats with a disappointing loss last week, and the game got out of hand at the end. Bryant scoring 21 straight in the last 7 minutes. That really did Conway in and forced them to play tonight. You can look at it a lot of different ways, but the fact of the matter is you're in the playoffs, you're playing tonight, make the most of it, get a win, and move on to the second round.
Yeah, and that Bryant loss brings me to my first worry tonight.
Okay, very good.
Which is just stay calm. You know, I know we're coming off a loss, and it's the playoffs. Just play your game. Do what you do what got you to this point.
That's
you
right.
know, don't try and get above or play outside of yourself. Just do what got you to this point tonight. And my second worry, don't leave points on the field. We talked about it a lot in that Bryant game. There was a point in the second quarter where we had like a 4th and short. We went for it, could have kicked a field goal. We didn't. In the playoffs, don't leave points on the field.
Yep.
Get them where you can,
That's
especially in a first-round game where you're favored. Just keep that momentum going. My last word tonight is just for the defense, just stay the course. And what I mean by that is keep applying the pressure, because you're playing a team tonight that's not near as talented and not putting up near as many points as that Bryant offense was a week ago. So, you know, don't get conservative in the playoffs. Keep bringing that pressure. Keep forcing turnovers, and maybe they can put some points on the board tonight too.
This Rogers team scored the fewest points among the teams that made the playoffs. So there are 6 teams from each, the Central and the West. So those 12 teams, Rogers scored the fewest number of points throughout the course of the season. And so that point is well made. The defense has got a chance tonight to recapture some of what they had in that run with Central when they gave up 3. Then they pitched the shutout against Catholic. So we'll see if that happens tonight.
Yeah, and it's a good matchup for Conway in that sense. Like you mentioned, they don't put up a lot of points, only averaging 18 points a game, which is good for Conway because your top offensive weapon, spoiler alert, probably not going to see him much tonight unless we just absolutely have to. That's the word we've kind of gotten on Michael George, of course, is who we're talking about here.
And even watching in the pregame warm-ups, he was not a part of the heavy rotation with the first teamers. And so the likelihood of seeing Michael a lot tonight, he's more than 20 carries a night. Obviously, the unbelievable year that he has had. Might see him in limited action tonight, but almost like treat this like a bye week for him. If you can win without him, then that's okay.
I would love it if he doesn't have to see a single down. Yeah. You know, I would love to see Clark and I'm blanking on McClain. Yeah, I wanted to say McCready. I don't know why. Carey, mixing the words together. You know, they're averaging, each one of them, over 4 yards a carry. Right. You know, obviously they haven't been carrying the load near as much as Michael George is, but they're still great backs in their own right. I would love it if Michael George doesn't have to come in tonight. That would be great.
Speaking of pregame warm-ups, we did see one thing interesting, and if it happens, and you'll see it play out pretty quickly, Will McKenna is not going to be able to play for this team tonight as the Wampus Cats are coming on the field right now. But so Will McKenna's out, number 88, who's starting to have an incredible year, was solid all throughout the year, but was really coming into his own. Unable to play tonight. Who is going to take his place on the wide receiver corps? It's a player that you know. It's Giovanni Johnson. Backup quarterback, was last year's starting quarterback in this game when Conway played Rogers. And it looks like if everything that we've saw and have heard, he's going to get some time at receiver tonight. First time we've seen that.
I got that tip from some of my informants. You know, I'm not going to name any names.
Good.
And I thought,
protect your
you've been
source.
a good informant before, but that sounds a little crazy.
As it turns out.
We saw it, we saw it in warm-ups. And, you know, it's not as crazy as it sounds. He's a big guy. He's fast. He can get up there. And from watching him in the warm-ups, looks like he's got some good hands out there. So I was expecting to see him more in those special running packages that they bring in. But maybe we're going to see him in a different way tonight.
The Wampus Cats will get the football to begin tonight's game. Will Kennedy, Brennan Clark are deep to receive as their heels are on their own goal line. Willie Hernandez is the kicker and handles the punting duties for this Rogers team that's coached by Mike Lloyd. He's in his 31st year of coaching, but just his second year coaching the Rogers Mounties. Line drive kick taken by Jackson Freeman at the 20-yard line. Jackson stood up at the 30 and dropped, and that's where the Wampus Cats will have the ball 1st and 10 to begin tonight. So Andrew Rhea, senior quarterback, has thrown for 1,600 yards this year, 15 touchdowns. He's thrown 6 picks, but at least a couple of those have come late in games in the 2 losses.
Right,
and
like last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then against Springdale in week 1, he had a similar situation. So had a really, really solid year. Came out and won this job in the preseason and has held on to it throughout. And as we expected, Brennan Clark is the starting running back behind Andrew Rhea. And Giovanni Johnson is set on the field. Correction, he is not out there right now. My apologies. Andrew Rhea gets away from trouble. Spins. Falls down at the 34-yard line. Tackle is made by Justin Keene. And it's going to be 2nd down. I thought I saw Giovanni Johnson out on the far side, but that was not 4 that was out there. It was 9. No, correction, that is.
Yeah,
I'm
the
the guy with the old eyes, so you got to correct me when I'm wrong. So Giovanni Johnson is in the game. He is at the wide receiver slot at the top where Will McKenna would have been.
I was looking near side, sorry.
Now Giovanni Johnson at the top there, Joe Thomas and Nick Richmond on the near side. Nick Richmond's been quiet the last couple of weeks. Let's see if we can get him going tonight. Hand off to Brennan Clark, right side. Clark to the 35-yard line. It will be short of the 1st down. Got to get out to the 41-yard line to pick up the 1st, so it's 3rd and 6.
You talked about Rhea and his numbers on the year, and last week we talked about how in the last 3 games coming into the Bryant game, how his numbers and production had increased a little bit. I'd love to see him come out and have a big game tonight for Conway and take some pressure off of this running game.
Offensive line, Nate Turner, Lance Rogers, L.J. Hansberry, Keandre Clay, and Thomas Cloyd. Those starters along the offensive line have had a great season and hopefully will continue to tonight. 3rd down. And the ball off to Clark, and he is not going to pick it up, and the Wampus Cat offense is going to come off the field, and the special teams unit will come on. So not a good start offensively.
Yeah, 3 and out, and we saw this happen quite a bit last week against a very good Bryant defense, especially that front 7. Tonight, this offense, I would like to see them come out and pass on 1st down, try and mix it up a little bit and see if they can spark this offense a different way. The last, half of football, they've been kind of stalled out.
Yes. Reed Hughes, deep snaps to Will Kennedy, but before he can do all of that, there is a flag. Procedure against the Wampus Cats, so back them up 5 yards.
One thing that's going to be different tonight for Giovanni is being out on the field a lot more in situations like this where he's on the punt team. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. You're kind of out of your normal routine on a Friday night.
4th down. Will Kennedy will punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line, and that's where the Wampus Cats will have it. Hunter Hawkins makes the fair catch, and the Cats defense will come out as Rogers takes over 1st and 10. Terrell Grimes, Zach Friedel, and Jordan Doby will be your defensive linemen with their hands down. Blake Walter, Matt Lloyd, Jackson Freeman, and Garrett Fusilier are your linebackers. Darnell Washington and Tyler Banks are your corners. Roman Aaron and Mr. He Only Does Everything, Will Kennedy, are, of course, your starting safeties. This defense has played very, very well this year. They took it on the chin last week. We're going to try to get things back in positive for them.
Oh, block in the back right there.
Matt Lloyd's son, Hunter Lloyd, is their starting quarterback, number 5. He passes to Colin McWhirter. McWhirter is a name that we will call a lot. They use him a whole bunch, whether it's throwing the ball or running the ball.
Yeah, a lot of different ways. Blake Walter got blocked in the back over on the far side. First play on defense.
Gain of 7. It's 2nd down and 3. So Hunter Lloyd, the sophomore quarterback, has thrown for over 1,900 yards this year and 11 touchdowns. He's been picked off 10 times. He rolls to his right on 2nd down. Throws incomplete. was looking for Garrett Drake to bring up third down.
And he's a guy I'm going to watch tonight if I'm this Conway defense. In terms of receiving yards, he's their third leading receiver, but breaking down the numbers, he averages 21 yards a catch. So I don't know if he's just come on late here in the season or what, but he's definitely their big play receiver in terms of bringing in the yards.
And you're talking about number 8.
Number 8, yeah, Drake, who they
he's got
targeted there.
Really good size, too. 6'5", almost 200 pounds. So he is a tall, lanky receiver. Our guys are going to have to be matched up well against him. All right, 3rd down and 3. They'll bring in the other back. That is Aaron Jones. He stands next to Lloyd. Lloyd will roll and look to throw. Blake Walter sacks him. Blake Walter tracks him down at the 36-yard line. Huge play on 3rd down. And Rogers will be forced to punt. How about Blake Walter?
I love it seeing it from the senior. Had a tough start to the season because of injury. So good to see him out here in the first week of the playoffs, picking up Conway's 18th sack on the year.
And his first on the season. Hernandez out to punt. Jackson Freeman and Will Kennedy deep to receive for the Cats. Going to get the football back. So 3 and out for both teams in the first possessions of the night. Cats will have it 1st and 10 now at the 24-yard line following Jackson Freeman's fair catch.
You talked a little bit in the pregame about this Rogers team not scoring a lot of points. They do, however, give up quite a few points there. They've been giving up 39 points per game this season. Conway averaging 34 points a game. So you think that's going to be a good matchup tonight for the Wampus Cats.
Giovanni Johnson is in the game, and he'll move to the near side on this offensive set. Giovanni Johnson, we just missed it, our backup quarterback, starting at receiver, replacing Will McKenna. Brennan Clark behind Andrew Rhea. Quick out, complete to Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas out of bounds, past the 40-yard line. That's good for a first down. It's a Conway Regional Health System first down. Move the chains for the Cats.
I love it. I love this offense coming out and going in the air on first down. Something I would have liked to have seen a week ago in that second half versus Bryant. Just try something different because that running game has had its challenges the last half and a little bit of change here.
Andrew Rhea, senior quarterback, looking to his left, gets the call from Brian Rainey. Stay in the air. Time to throw, and does. Incomplete. Had the ball in his hands, but couldn't pull it in. Giovanni Johnson, first time he's been targeted tonight. Junior, seen him play quarterback, of course, was the starting quarterback a year ago when these two teams met in this game. Now tonight, playing a brand new position for him. 2nd down and 10. Stay in the air. A little too quick on the complete from me. Joe Thomas can't hold on to it. It's 3rd down and 10. Thought he was going to pull that one in.
That's old cliche, He's already thinking about his next step before he completes it.
He was running before he caught it, at least in his mind. All right, 3rd down and 10. Cats have picked up 1 first down. Offensive line doing a good job tonight, giving Andrew Rhea time to throw. Had a couple of passes that were dropped. He'll throw again on 3rd down. Looking deep for Nick Richmond. There's a connection we've been waiting to see. Rhea to Richmond for 59 yards. Touchdown, Wampus Cats.
And you kind of previewed that play complimenting the offensive line. They gave Andrew Rhea so much time here. Rogers brings the blitz, and he finds his man one-on-one on the left side, Nick Richmond, who you said we haven't heard much from the last few games.
Yeah.
Like to see him getting a big play here tonight.
7:48 to play in the opening quarter, and the Cats strike first. It was 3rd down and 10, and they went for 59. Jordan Wicks has made all 51 extra point attempts during the regular season. His first in the postseason, a day after he signed his national letter of intent to play college baseball at Kansas State, is good, and the Cats take a 7-0 lead over the Rogers Mounties. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Jordan Wicks will kick off, and the Cats are up 7-0. Good to see Andrew Rhea and Nick Richmond connecting again. That is the 9th touchdown of the year for Nick Richmond.
Yeah, feels good. It feels good to get that passing game going. Of course, Michael George, don't expect to see him on the field tonight. So to get that passing game going, Andrew Rhea, 2 completions, 76 yards, and a long touchdown. It's going to take some pressure off of our running game tonight.
Hawkins pushed out of bounds by Matt Lloyd. And the Mounties will have it 1st and 10. Jordan Wicks over there mixing it up a little bit.
It's a playoffs.
It is.
Kicker wants to get in on some action here.
I like it. Yeah, big day yesterday for Jordan Wicks. He signed that national letter of intent to play Big 12 college baseball. He's going to pitch and play some first base, as I understand, up for Kansas State.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. He had originally committed to Arkansas State and ended up decommitting from them and reopened his recruitment and found a home in the Big 12. Flags come in.
Got a false start.
7:39 to go. We are in the first quarter. The winner of tonight's game will travel to Bentonville next week to take on Bentonville West. The game will be Thursday night.
Yes, you heard us right. Thursday.
It's going to be Thursday. Bentonville West and Bentonville High School share the stadium that we played in earlier this year against Bentonville High. And so the winner of this game will play there on Thursday night. Bentonville High School will play their game on Friday night. Lloyd looking to throw. Unleashes all the way back across the field. Wow. And then a flag comes in there at the end. Ball was already on the ground. They got mixed up together. Colin McWhirter, who we talked about, they're going to go to him in many different ways. Was mixed up with Jackson Freeman, who dropped from his linebacker position into coverage on him.
If anything, I would have called that incidental contact, but maybe they'll pick it up, wave it off. That's what Stats wants it. He's waving it off in here.
See if they look up here for a suggestion.
No.
Sure enough.
You know what I love, though, about high school football? Is that those pass interference penalties aren't just absolute killers like they are in the NFL. Oh,
right.
Man. It's not at the spot of the ball. It's just a static, 15-yard penalty.
Move the ball up to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Mounties. Corlin McKinney and Kane Aaron on the field on this drive. The pitch to McWhirter. He is good. He's pushed out of bounds. He's rushed for 343 yards and 5 touchdowns this year. He's caught 764 yards worth of passes this year. He is a senior. This is a young football team. Multiple sophomore starters on both sides of the ball, including their quarterback, Hunter Lloyd.
Yeah, that was one thing I was surprised by, too, looking at classifications for these players. So I know Rogers has not been good in a little while, but they could be pretty good here in a few years.
Well, and Lloyd's only been there. This is his 2nd year, getting a chance to coach his son, and he's obviously a good athlete, 6'4", 200-pound sophomore. Throw the ball around. He got a chance to come in late in the game that they played to start the season against Siloam Springs. Pass is incomplete. Was it a forward pass? Man, they're going to say it was. It was very close. It was right on the line where we're sitting.
It was a forward pass in the way that the Music City Miracle wasn't a forward pass, if you catch my drift. Wink, wink.
I do. Nice.
See, as a Titans fan, I can make that joke.
2nd down and 10. It's hard to keep up with all your allegiances.
Because I have too many, and they're always shifting. No. Just kidding.
2nd down and 10. 7:18 to play. 7:17 to play. We are in first quarter. Lloyd looking to pass. Rolls right and throws. Pass is incomplete. It's tipped. Jackson Freeman looking for pick number 4 on the season. Couldn't pull it down. All right, money down. 3rd and 10.
I would love to see Jackson Freeman get another one and also take it to the end zone.
That would be great, too. He's had 2 this year. 2 picks that have – one was on a pitch, but still counted as an interception and got that one back. Was it counted as an interception?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other one. I remember, we talked about David McCollum calling it the pitch 6. All right, 3rd down and 10. Jones is next to Lloyd. Lloyd rolls to his right and throws deep. He goes way out of bounds, almost all the way to the track. And it will be 4th down and 10. Good defensive series. They put some pressure on the sophomore quarterback and forced him to get rid of it. And it falls incomplete.
Will Kennedy's giving up some inches to Drake, but not giving up any ferocity.
Yeah, 5'9" to 6'5". Significant size difference, but I'll put my money on Will Kennedy anytime. 4th down and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line. They will choose to punt. Fernandez will punt the ball away. Jackson Freeman will go back deep with Will Kennedy. Cats up 7-0. First round of the playoffs. Winner moves on to Bentonville next week. Low kick taken by Will Kennedy. Will, trying to get loose, can get to the 20-yard line before he is dropped. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. Ben Carrillo on the stop on special teams. And it's 1st and 10.
We haven't had a special teams return for a touchdown this season.
That is right.
No kickoff returns, no punt returns.
McCall Dale and Marquise Pleasant, but they don't play for us anymore.
Right.
Okay.
I'd like to see that. Playoffs is a good time for that. Maybe Mr. Will Kennedy could get in the end zone that way.
Kerry McLean is going to join Brennan Clark on the field. He will provide a block for Clark, who spins and picks up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down.
We saw this formation a few times kind of in the middle of the season. One particular possession in a home game, I can't remember exactly what home game it was, but having the 2 backs in the shotgun with Rhea. And running game hasn't been super effective the first 2 possessions, maybe trying to get a little spark here.
Giovanni Johnson in the game, set up to the near side at receiver. Nick Richmond and Joe Thomas to the top. Rhea looking over the middle. Got Joe Thomas. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats. It's a Conway Regional Health System 1st down, all the way down to the 46-yard line. That vertical passing game is looking good.
that was just pick which present you want to open there for Rhea, because all 3 of his receivers were open. Both Richmond and Joe Thomas over on the right, and here on the near side, nobody was even close to Giovanni. He's now 3 of 5 for 111 yards in the first quarter.
Chris Anderson and Chris Patterson both in the game in this 2 tight end set. On the ground, Brennan Clark. Brennan falls forward to the 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. We've played half of the first quarter. Cats up 7-0. State playoffs, 9th consecutive year that this Coach Ashcraft coached team has made it into the playoffs.
It's been a nice decade.
Yes, very much so. 5-8 is their record in the playoffs over the last 8 seasons. Rhea stands up and throws. Joe Thomas, great move after the catch. Puts his shoulder down and is to the 22-yard line.
And if Rhea wants it, he's going to have that all night. The last 2 passing plays, those corners are playing so soft.
Will Sims was on the receiving end of that big hit from Joe Thomas. Good to see Joe. Has yet to get into the end zone this year in his senior season. Will Kennedy and Nick Richmond are to the top. Giovanni Johnson is to the near side, single coverage. 2 running back set. The reverse, Giovanni Johnson is going to throw. Of course he is. Looking for Will Kennedy. Touchdown, Wampus Cats. So that's what you can do when you have 2 quarterbacks on the field.
Right? That's definitely a wrinkle right there. We talk about the wrinkles all season long. Yeah, if you got your 2nd-string quarterback split out a wide receiver, run that little reverse, and both of his guys were wide open. I mean, he could have passed to either one of them.
Touchdown pass from Giovanni Johnson, and that's his first touchdown pass of the year. Yeah. Will Kennedy with his 5th touchdown. Is that right? I don't think I updated my stats here. Will McKenna had 4 touchdowns. When I moved Will Kennedy into the starting slot, I left Will McKenna's stats on there.
Yeah, that's his first touchdown.
First touchdown, yeah. Cats are up 14-0 following Jordan Wick's extra point. 5:08 to play in the first quarter. Back in 30 seconds on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Stats is cracking me up with his play analysis there, because that nice little fake reverse, Giovanni going to pass, he picked the harder option because Nick Richmond was standing by the W in the end zone, nobody near him,
waving for a fair catch. All right, kick taken at the 5-yard line. That is Hawkins. Down to the 25, and that's where the Rogers will take over 1st and 10.
I have to give you an update on the explaining the playoffs to my wife situation.
Oh, yeah.
I
talked about this last week.
Yeah, I talked about it a little last week. I told her before I left tonight that the game next week is definitely on Thursday.
Yeah.
So I said, if we win tonight, we'll play Thursday. And she said, well, when will you know if you're going to play on Black Friday? And I said, well, if we win Thursday.
On Thursday, okay. So that's, she's
starting to pick up the pieces a little bit.
I like that she's looking so far ahead.
Me too, yeah, I really like it.
Fumble! Picked up by Blake Walter. Blake inside the 25, and the Cats get a turnover.
Love it.
Lloyd with the pitch. And then McWhorter was making his way to the side and running hard, and then someone got in there and poked the ball loose, and Blake Walter, who's had a sack tonight and now a fumble recovery, was Johnny on the spot, and the Cats are in position to score again. 1st and 10 at the 23.
19th turnover on the year for this defense. They've had 12 interceptions and now 7 fumbles. They're plus 11, this Conway team is on the year in the turnover differential. And that leads to a winning team.
Right. All right, the Cats are on top 14-0, 4:52 to play in the first quarter. Brennan Clark back on the field behind Andrew Rhea. And they'll throw. Rhea. Complete to Chris Anderson. Into the end zone. Touchdown Wampus Cats. Anderson's 2nd touchdown catch of the year. 17th touchdown pass of the year for Andrew Rhea. And the Cats are up 20-0.
This passing game is just on fire here in the first half. This Rogers secondary has just been really confused at what this Conway Wampus Cat offense has thrown at them. My favorite part, so here's the numbers. 5 of 7 for Rhea, 149, 2 touchdowns. Of course, Giovanni Johnson, 1 of 1 for a touchdown. Favorite part of all this? Michael George, just sit down, buddy. You don't
just
you're
rest. Good. Take it easy. Take a load off. Whistle before the ball can be kicked. If you're wondering about what that is, if you're just catching up with us here, Michael was injured in the second half last week. Got himself into the game at one point when probably wasn't supposed to be in there, but got in there and scored. And so, the hope was to give him a chance to rest for next week. And who we're talking about is Michael George, who ended the season with almost 1,800 yards rushing. He was the leading rusher in the 7A and was first by almost 500 yards more than Sammy Johnson, who was in second place, the running back from Little Rock Catholic.
Here's my favorite Michael George stat of this week. He's got 1,840 all-purpose yards. The next closest person was Nick Richmond with 645.
Unbelievable.
That just gives you a perspective of how much offense that we're missing tonight, but we're not missing it too much because this defense is playing well.
Just inside the right upright, the extra point by Jordan Wicks was good, 21-0. We'll keep it here while we await the kickoff and the Cats sending their defense back out.
See, that's the kind of things you do in playoff football when things are going well. You just skip the break.
Is that what you do?
I guess.
Well, Conway Regional Health System, we appreciate them and all that they have done to make sure that these Wampus Cat games get on the air. In fact, we'll be talking to a representative from Conway Regional at halftime. Dazzle Days is next week.
for sure.
It's next week. Next week.
My wife asked me before I left if we had tickets, and I was like, I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's in your department.
The Dazzle Days is a huge event every year. Benefits Conway Regional Health System. We'll be speaking to Pam Sims about everything that's going on with that coming up at halftime. And at this point, we're all going to be a pretty happy bunch of Wampus Cat fans. Hunter Hawkins on the return, knocked out at the 36-yard line. That's where the Rogers Mounties will begin, 1st and 10.
Jackson Freeman coming up a little limpy there. Getting his jersey brushed off by his friends on the field. Like that's going to make it feel better, I guess.
That's all you need sometimes, just be brushed off. Jordan Dobie and Terrell Grimes join Zach Friedel in the defensive line. Tyler Banks and Darnell Washington are your corners. This defense has played well. 21-0. Still almost 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Jordan Dobie pulls up and eases into the hit on Lloyd. Roman Aaron, you see Will Kennedy's reaction. Roman Aaron trying to get his second pick of the year.
Two things I love about that sequence. One, the first one you mentioned, Dobie, having the presence of mind. I mean, he had him locked in. He was ready to just smoke him. And he probably would have been a clean hit, but presence of mind to stop. And then Roman Aaron just staying in stride and making a perfectly timed play that jump there at the end.
2nd down and 10. 4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cats up 21-0. They'll roll Lloyd to the left and throw. Incomplete. It will be 3rd down. Roman Aaron still there, bouncing off the pile.
I'm watching the sidelines more closely tonight after a little story I heard about some sideline action last week involving one Coach Ashcraft.
Yeah, that was a frightening situation, and I went back and watched the tape, and sure enough, you can see it happen. Jackson Freeman's interception last week in the first quarter, Coach Ashcraft took a helmet from an opposing player, completely unintentional, but the player was trying to make a play, and he caught Coach under the chin in full stride with his helmet, and then Coach hit back into one of our guys' helmets, and it was rough. And he's fine now, but it was you forget how much is going on, and these guys are playing at breakneck speed, and not everybody is in pads on the sideline, including coaches. So incomplete pass there, so it is going to be 4th down. But, yeah, we'll keep an eye on Coach and everybody else there on the sideline a little closer. Well, that defense is playing some good ball right now, leading 21-0. They're bouncing off the field. And the special teams unit back on, Will Kennedy and Jackson Freeman to return the punt.
Come on, Will.
Here's your chance. You want to do this.
I'm willing it into existence for Will.
Hernandez will punt. End over end, taken by Jackson Freeman. Down at the 39. 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. We mentioned a couple of times what happens if the winner of this game will move on, whether it's Conway or Rogers. Take on Bentonville West next Thursday night. The other games happening tonight, Cabot is playing host to Springdale. Fayetteville is playing host to Southside. Those are the games on the opposite side of the bracket from us. On our side of the bracket, it's Harbor hosting Northside. North Little Rock is the other team on our half of the bracket. 1st down and 10. 3 wideouts, including Giovanni Johnson, who's on the near side. There's the handoff to Brennan Clark, and he's coming to this side. He spins and is taken down at the 49-yard line. Aaron Jones makes the stop. It's 2nd down.
There we go. Getting a nice run going there.
Yep, good to see. Good to see. And as you mentioned a couple of times, it's also good to see that 30's on the sideline.
Right. And that we're up 21-0 in the first quarter.
That's good, too.
That's really where Clark's strength lies, is getting out to that edge. But it's just such a different style and different blocking almost for this offensive line to break those plays for Clark.
8-yard gain on that carry for Brennan Clark. Quick out to Nick Richmond. Nick will be dropped for no gain. Stop was made by Logan Watkins. And it will be 3rd down and short. So 3rd down and 1. This would be the Rhino. It looks like we're going to run the Rhino. And Giovanni Johnson will be the understudy for Michael George in the Rhino. Will in motion. Giovanni Johnson still on his feet, crosses midfield, down past the 40, move the chains. It's a Conway Regional Health System 1st down.
He's a perfect understudy for that play because he's so smooth in the backfield. Because a lot of times when he is running the ball in those design plays for him, he's in shotgun anyway, and he's really good. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns on the year at reading those blocks and then making that acceleration at just the right moment. You saw it happen right there.
1st and 10, Wampus Cats leading 21-0. 2:40 to play in the 1st quarter. Rhea pressured, running, gets away from it. Still on his feet. How about L.J. Hansberry coming back to provide a good block? Help his quarterback out a little bit. He picks up a few yards out of it. It'll be 2nd down.
It's a nice little
tool. Picked up more than a few.
Nice little tool for him to have in his belt, being able to escape the pocket when that pressure comes.
2nd down. He picked up 7. 2nd down and 3. Nick Richmond and Joe Thomas will go to the top. Will Kennedy off the field on this set. Chris Patterson in motion. That's the direction they'll send Brennan Clark. Tries to find the edge. He will fall towards the 26-yard line. We'll see where the spot is. It's made close to a 1st down. They'll put him down at the 27. Glenn on the stop.
Wonder what the conversation might be like between Michael George and Giovanni Johnson about, hey, you did great, but maybe don't do too great next time on the Rhino.
They're going to stretch the chains here to see if it's a 1st down. They were sending the Rhino package out there, as you saw Will Kennedy going out along with Giovanni Johnson to go on for 2nd and short. So it's going to be 3rd down and short.
Little score update for you tonight. Of course, you're watching this tomorrow, but
right. Still for our benefit.
You probably already know the score, but Fayetteville up 14-7 on Southside.
Okay.
And looks like they're into the 2nd quarter. And not getting score updates yet from Harbor or from that Springdale Cabot game.
Okay.
Might have to switch on over to old trusty Twitter
here.
Yeah,
that Southside game is interesting to me. Fayetteville's playing some great football, but we know from experience Southside is dangerous. If they could get on a roll and get Tay Gatewood loose, they could pull off an upset there.
That would be great.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't hate that at all. 3rd down, the Rhino will be Giovanni Johnson. He will move the chains, and he'll be stood up by everybody wearing white there.
Whoa.
And then thrown back by Andrew McGlynn, and there's a...
That was well after the whistle, guys.
Well after. Is there a flag on the field?
No flag. The ref's the last... I don't want to be that guy, right?
You don't.
But I was talking to some people this week, and they were complaining, so I feel like I need to speak for the people.
Yes.
There have been some really tight belts on those flags the last couple weeks here in Conway.
It's a Conway Regional Health System 1st down. Rhea looks to throw, and does. Looking for Giovanni Johnson. It's just off his fingertips. Is that just the 3rd miss of the night?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, he's 6-9 for 150 and 2 touchdowns.
And those 3 misses have all been on the hands of the receivers. That would have been a tough catch, but the pass was there. 21-0, the Cats are on top. Thank you to Conway Regional Health System sponsoring Wampus Cat football this year. Cats up 21-0 here. Rhea with Clark behind him. Complete to Giovanni Johnson. Giovanni Johnson to the end zone. He's got a passing touchdown tonight and now a receiving touchdown tonight. Rhea to Johnson.
Well, Jeff, you lose your number 1 offensive weapon for the playoffs coming in tonight. What do? You just take one of your other weapons, put him in a completely different position, and just make it work. Great job with this offense tonight, executing under not ideal circumstances for this team.
Yeah, very impressive first 10 minutes plus of the game. We've still got 1:40 to play in the first quarter. Cats are up 28-0 with 1:40 to play in the first quarter. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Hi, my name is Ashley Mann, and I would like for you to join me on my show, Breathe Yoga, on Channel 5. Each episode will consist of a 30-minute yoga practice that will help you along your yoga journey, whether you are new to yoga or an advanced practitioner. So if you've always wanted to try yoga but didn't know where to begin, join me on Breathe Yoga, only on Channel 5.
Wampus Cats in control here, up 28-0. Update from the Cabot and Springdale game, as Cabot is on top, 14-7 over the Bulldogs. And Springdale had a great game a week ago. They looked fantastic against this Rogers team. Hawkins will take it out of bounds. It's first and 10 Rogers.
We know from personal experience that's not a fun place to go any time of year, but especially in the playoffs, playing against that Cabot offense, they just slow things down and get you out of your rhythm. I imagine it's got to be even more frustrating in the playoffs to be playing against that style offense. Last check on the Springdale Harbor and Northside game was scoreless at the end of one.
Okay. Keep an eye on all these for you. Again, as Levi mentioned, as you're watching this, you already know all this. But just humor us and let us.
We don't.
We don't know.
And we want to know desperately.
And next week will be even more strange because if we win, we play on Thursday night.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be the only game in the state.
No excuse for no news coverage.
That's right. Oh, that
Thursday
is
night.
Good point. 28-0. The Cats are on top. Don't want to put the cart before the horse, but Cats are sure looking like they're going to be playing next week. All right, Hunter Lloyd is their quarterback. Hand off to Hawkins on the jet sweep. He is taken down at the 32-yard line. Blake Walter there, continuing his best game of the year.
What's been so crazy about all of this is that we're not even done with the first quarter yet.
Right.
It's felt like I see that clock ticking, and I'm like, oh, it's almost halftime. No, it's not.
No, it's almost the second quarter. Second down and 7. Coming up on a minute to go in this first quarter. It's been all Cats, up 28-0.
But you know this defense is already starting to think shutout.
Oh, without a doubt.
In the playoffs, nothing would give you more confidence than doing that.
Lloyd, complete. Big stop. Jackson Freeman. It is third down. Man, this has been a fun team to watch play this year.
I love watching the secondary. They are celebrating out there. Roman Aaron was bowing down to Jackson Freeman.
Third down and 10. Final 20 seconds or so here of the first quarter. Play clock down to 8, so they'll have to snap it before the quarter ends. Third down and 10. Lloyd unloads. Catch is made. There's that big receiver you were talking about, Levi.
Yeah, and he did right there just what I was worried about coming into the night. Again, in terms of overall yardage, he's their third best receiver, but he doubles the other top receiver in terms of yards per catch. He averages 21 yards a reception. He got at least that on that one.
Garrett Drake is number 8. We're talking about 6'5", 200 pounds. 15 catches for 307 yards and added to the total right there. Well, we're through one quarter of play. Man, it has been all Conway. Great first 12 minutes. Cats are on top 28-0. We'll take 60 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Start of the second quarter, it's been all Cats so far, 28-0, Levi.
Yeah, almost 250 yards of total offense in the first quarter alone. 196 coming in the air. So big offensive performance from this passing game. Let me read these for you. Nick Richmond, 59-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Rhea. Will Kennedy, 22-yard pass from Giovanni Johnson. Chris Anderson, 23-yard pass from Andrew Rhea. And Giovanni Johnson, 24-yard pass from Andrew Rhea.
Wow.
Sounds good. I like it.
It's going to be second down and 11. Loss of 1 on the play. Colin McWhorter, they tried to get him loose, and he tripped up. Lloyd rolls right, stops and throws. Catch is made. Got all tangled up there with Darnell Washington. No flag on the play. Catch was made by Will Sims. It's going to be first down.
Yeah, I got some tangled legs out there near the sideline, and Washington loses his footing. This defense, see what they got.
Ball is just outside the 10, so they can get a first down without a touchdown. Handoff, McWhorter. A couple of Wampus Cats miss him, and finally he's knocked out of bounds at the 5. It'll be second down.
Even when they get pinned down near the end zone like this, I still have confidence in this defense because we saw him do it.
Yes.
And at Northside, I believe, earlier this season, that 95-yard interception return from Will Kennedy.
Will Kennedy picked it off, went the distance, his first and only interception of the year. Took it back for 6. Lloyd will throw. Pass is incomplete, and you can see the frustration in the receiver. Hawkins knew he was open. He was underthrown.
Yeah, and you saw right before the play, I think it might have been Blake Walter. I can't remember who was out there. Looked like he was over him, and then started to shift. Like maybe there was a little bit of confusion on coverage there, but he was wide open. If he makes a pass, that's 6 points on the board for Rogers.
Be a whistle and a timeout, I believe. Yep, sure enough. All right, 11:04 to play in the first half. Cats are up 28-0, and Rogers is threatening. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Hi, I'm Robin Dyer, and welcome to Burn. It's time to work out. This workout is going to be quick, something you can do at home for your busy lifestyle. Give me about half an hour, and I'm going to help you find your breathless edge. This is the workout that's going to be suited just for you. So come join me and let's get fit together.
Wampus Cats on top, 28-0. Springdale and Cabot are playing over in Cabot. The winner of that game will take on Bentonville High School on Friday night at Bentonville High School. The winner of our game will get to play against Bentonville West in that stadium on Thursday night. Cats up 28-0. It's third down and 4. Lloyd pressured and throws. Knocked away. Will Kennedy said no, sir. And it's fourth down.
Love it. This Conway defense played well tonight on third downs. Now 1 of 5. They've held Rogers on third down conversions.
Pass was intended for Sims.
So if you're Rogers here, you gotta go for it, right? I mean,
you have to. Lloyd will throw back across the middle. Catch is made, and it's good for a touchdown. They scored on 4th down. Got McGlynn, and it's 28-6.
Yeah, that was a challenging formation they brought, as they had like 3 receivers bunched out close to the line over on the right, and he was able to find a little window and squeeze one in there.
Hernandez will handle the extra point attempt. Unless they go for 2, and they will. But it's not going to work. Senior Zach Friedel makes the stop, and the Cats are up 28-6. We will take a 30-second timeout and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
If something goes wrong with your heart, you can trust Conway Regional. Our cardiac specialists help save lives by having some of the state's fastest response times. We offer complete care, including a cath lab team, cardiac rehab experts, and if you need surgery, you'll go down the hallway, not the highway, to Conway's only heart surgery team. Complete cardiac care, completely in Conway. One team, one promise, Conway Regional.
28-6 as the Rogers Mounties get on the board. Unable to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, so it remains 28-6. Our score with Rogers about to kick off to the Wampus Cats.
Which this Conway offense puts up almost 250 yards in the first quarter, not first half, first quarter.
Yeah.
196 of that coming in the air. So I'd like to see what they do here on this possession.
And 4 touchdown passes in the first quarter.
Think Rogers tries anything sneaky here?
If I wait long enough.
Are you thinking about it?
Well, I at first I would say, oh, no, it's way too early, but it's the playoffs, and you're already down this many scores. It's almost like you kind of have to take some chances you wouldn't normally take. Now, Coach Mike Lloyd's done this for a long time, so he's just going to kick the ball off, but we'll see if that strategy changes later on.
I think what I heard you say was, if you're expecting it, then surely they wouldn't, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, if it's so obvious, then Levi would expect it.
That was what I meant. Okay. I didn't know how to say it.
I appreciate you, framing it in a nicer way.
Thanks. That's what I try to do. 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. 7-3 on the season, 5-2 in conference play. The only conference losses coming to North Little Rock and Bryant. 2 of the top teams in the state. Cats looking to get a win and take on Bentonville West, which if you look at the top 3 in the state, it's those 3 teams. It's Bentonville High School has actually snuck into the top 3 at this point, but Bentonville West and Bryant and North Little Rock, those have been the top 3 schools most of the year. Joe Thomas with a nice run. That'll be enough to move the chains. The Conway Regional Health System first down.
That's his first run on the year, so still seeing new things in Week 11.
Coach Rainey, playbook is deep. 1st and 10. Rhea with Clark behind him. Handoff to Brennan Clark. He follows Nate Turner on the left-hand side of the line. He and Lance Rogers over there. A couple yard gains at 2nd down.
You've really seen tonight just how dynamic an athlete Giovanni Johnson is. I remember his first start against Cabot on the road, 0-5, and he just gives you just a different spark. Apparently, no matter where he is on the field.
Right. Rhea looks to his 3rd option, and it was Giovanni Johnson was that 3rd option, and the pass falls incomplete. It's a 3rd down. It's something that we mentioned it a week ago, but it's worth mentioning again. Watching Andrew Rhea and how he is learning to look through his progressions, you can see him. He wanted to go deep down the left-hand side. It wasn't there. Looked across his other options and found a place to get the ball either to Johnson or incomplete. I mean, it wasn't going to be picked off.
Yeah, and the big thing here, as opposed to last week, is he's got time to do that.
Yes.
He did not have a lot of time against that defensive line from Bryant.
3rd down and 8. Quick pass, complete. Going to be good for a first down. Joe Thomas. Out of bounds. Taken down by Sims. Move the chains for the Wampus Cats. It's a Conway Regional Health System first down.
Yeah, great job there by Thomas. Saw a very similar play in the first quarter, and he couldn't quite pull it in. He, does a great job there, getting the catch and then getting the yards after. And like you mentioned, second leading receiver and hasn't got in the end zone. Would love to see that happen for him tonight.
1st and 10, Rhea. Looking deep for Joe Thomas. He threw it over his right shoulder, and Joe was looking back to his left. 2nd down and 10. Update from Cabot as Springdale has gotten on the board. And that game is tied at 14.
Remind me again, the winner of that game is going to Bentonville.
Bentonville High School, correct. So Cabot, Conway, Northside, and Southside, those are the 4 central teams that are in action tonight. The 3 through 6 seeds. 2nd down and 10. Staying in the air. Looking for Nick Richmond.
We'll keep running.
Richmond slowed down a little bit, and the pass was just a couple of steps beyond him. It's 3rd down and 10.
That just shows you the arm that Rhea has. I mean, that was that was in the air for 55 yards.
So with no Michael George tonight, they are definitely choosing to do more through the air. And they have had success. 4 touchdown passes tonight. 3rd down and 10. Quite a luxury to have if you lose the state's leading rusher in 7A that you can have and not like you've had throwing the football. Coach Rainey wants to talk things over, and the offense will gather around their offensive coordinator and decide what they're going to do on 3rd and 10. We'll take 30 seconds, then come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Prevent break-ins with Conway Corp Home Security. Arm windows and doors with sensors plus motion detectors throughout the house. All monitored 24/7. See inside and out with live video feed and control it all with your all-in-one touchscreen panel or from your mobile device. We make it easy to protect what matters. Security for you, powered by us.
Wampus Cats leading 28-6 over the Rogers Mounties.
Score updates for you across the 7A. Fayetteville now up big on Southside, 29-7.
All right.
In the second quarter. Also in the second quarter at Harbor, we are tied up 7-7 with Northside. Northside might be primed for a little upset tonight.
No, they've got some good talent there as well. See what happens with those. And Cabot and Southside are tied, Cabot and Springdale are tied at 14 over in Lonoke County. Andrew Rhea couldn't get away from the pressure that time, and so following the timeout is not what you want to see, but Cats will be forced to punt the ball away. And it has been success after success on offense tonight, but that time things kind of fell apart a little bit. 28-6, they'll send the ball back to Rogers.
Good opportunity here for Will Kennedy to try and pin them inside their 20.
Hawkins and McWhorter are both deep for Will Kennedy's punt. Punt taken at the 35 by McWhorter, and there is nowhere for him to go. He'll lose a yard or two. Terrell Grimes, Reed Hughes down there on the stop, along with Jared Hoover. And so now it's 1st and 10 Rogers. They've got a little bit of momentum. They scored on the last drive. Stopped the Wampus Cats.
Yeah, they moved the ball well that last possession, but longer field for them here as Will Kennedy flips the field with a nice punt.
Will's averaging over 35 yards a punt. On the ground, McWhorter runs into Blake Walter. There was a feature in the Northwest Arkansas newspaper about one of the offensive linemen for the Rogers Mounties. Number 72 there has got some hair that falls underneath his helmet a little bit, and they talked about how easy it is to identify him. I think Blake may have been offended by that.
It's got the Blake Walter.
Yeah.
I think what they call that.
Yeah. And they should. Because the Blake Walter, that head of hair is impressive beyond the blue helmet there on number 24. Lloyd throws, incomplete. Bounces once to Roman Aaron. Now it's third down, 3rd and 10.
And I know we mentioned it earlier, but just so happy for Blake after the way the season started, and he couldn't play in week 1 because of injury, and it took him a while to get back on the field and kind of get back in the rotation. Yep. And that's happened to some other players on the defensive side of the ball tonight. But this defense is relatively healthy, probably the healthiest it's been since the start of the season.
Having Kane Aaron back. And
great time for it to happen.
Logan White's back, yep. All right, 3rd and 10. Lloyd's going to throw down the right sideline. Going to be knocked away, incomplete. Look at him. I love how animated our defense is.
Roman Aaron's like, chill, dude. That was a great play. He stopped it.
So it falls incomplete. Darnell Washington unable to pull in the interception. And it is 4th down.
I'm going to say it again. Sending the vibes.
Okay. Now
I want that punt return for a touchdown.
Now, do you care which one it is? Because you were sending it to Will earlier, and then Jackson Freeman caught it.
Yeah, so I'm going to be a little bit more judicious this time.
Fair.
Whoever gets it, I'll be happy.
Hernandez.
Whoa.
Short punt. Well, it carried more than I thought it would. Jackson Freeman lets it bounce, picks it up, down at the 45-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. Defense did their job there, got the ball back. And the Cats have it 1st and 10, 7:46 to play in the first half. Conway up 28-6.
Yeah, nice shorter field here for Conway, and really want to see them do something on this possession, especially the way that their drive stalled coming out of a timeout on that last possession.
It's 3rd and 10, and Rhea got sacked. Took a good Will Kennedy punt to force Rogers to have to do something from deep in their own end. Kerry McLean in the game, and he will get the handoff. Kerry down to the 36-yard line. Loose ball. Keandre Clay picked it up, but I believe they say it was down.
This is the challenge that Conway presents, is you just don't always know what they're going to do. I mean, they come out and trips left there and then still run the ball right down the middle. I mean, and then sometimes they'll come out in that 2 tight end set, the big set, and they're passing. It's hard to really pin down what they're going to do sometimes.
3 wideouts here with Chris Anderson set to the left as the tight end. Chris Anderson will pull to that side and provide a block along with the rest of the offensive linemen for Kerry McLean. Kerry's a junior, been in the end zone 3 times. Love to see him get back in. Love to see any of the Wampus Cats get back in. 7:06 to play in the first half.
Yeah, I was looking at these numbers for these running backs, knowing that Michael George wasn't going to play tonight. Of course, George averaging 7.98 yards per carry. Went down a little bit after Bryant, but Kerry McLean, the 3rd leading running back in terms of yards, but he actually the 2nd in terms of yards per carry is 4.46.
1st down and 10. McLean. Pick up his average there. Nick Richmond. Will Sims kind of mixing it up at the top of the screen there. 14 and 11. Another update from Cabot as the Panthers have gotten in the end zone. Missed the point after, though, and lead 20-14 over Springdale.
Man, that would stress me out.
A missed extra point?
Yes, that would really stress me out in the playoffs. I mean, it stresses me out anyway. But like I said at the very beginning, it's the playoffs, and I'm stressed the rest of the way. It doesn't stop until it's all over.
2nd down and 5. Rhea. Handoff again to Kerry McLean. Kerry running good. Inside the 20, move the chains. It's a Conway Regional Health System 1st down. 5:48 to play in the first half, and the Cats moving the ball.
Yeah, so I say, hey, what's this offense going to do on this possession? And they've been passing it all night. They come out here, Kerry McLean, 4 carries and 26 yards.
Run, run, run. Kerry went over the 100-yard mark last week. Going to be an illegal procedure call against the Wampus Cats. 28-6. We got a good one going on over in Cabot. Springdale has gone right back down the field and scored, and they made their point after. So it's Springdale 21, Cabot 20. Winner again gets Bentonville next week on Friday night. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with the teams. 30 seconds, and we are back to John McConnell Stadium on Conway Corp Channel 5.
It's that time of year again when shopping can be good for your health. Join the fun November 16th through 18th for Dazzle Days at the Conway Expo Center. Get in the Christmas spirit with the shopping extravaganza, featuring merchants with home decor, jewelry, gift items, and so much more. Plus, the kids can visit with Santa. Don't forget your chance to win a new 2017 Ford Mustang convertible. Get your tickets today by calling 501-513-5191 or visit dazzledays.com, benefiting Conway Regional Health Foundation.
Wampus Cats up 28-6. And looking good.
That penalty pushes them back a little bit. They're still within field goal range here. Still a lot left on this drive. First down, but can at least walk away with 3.
1st and 15. Rhea. Nick Richmond in the end zone once tonight. Well, look at that run after catch. That's fantastic from Richmond. Inside the 15-yard line, he was down.
And that's all him, too.
Watch this.
Short pass, makes one guy miss, spins away from another one. He's shifty.
7 Rogers Mounties in the frame there at the end of the play. Nick needs to talk to his teammates. Fellas.
Help. Where are my blockers?
2nd and 6. Rhea to throw. Steps and throws. Sails beyond the outstretched arms of Giovanni Johnson, who at 6'4", 195. Got a pretty significant reach, but not enough there.
Rhea coming up a little tenderly there, rubbing his right shoulder a little bit. I had an interesting experience after the game last week as I'm walking out. These 2 women started talking to me near the gate, and they said, you better have said nice things about 15.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was his grandmother's.
Oh. Always nice things to say about 15. He has been fun to watch play. Hate that he had the injury a year ago. Would have been fun to see what he could have done with 2 years in this system. Looking for Giovanni Johnson, and the coverage got there just at the last second. Rhea threw a great ball. And it will be 4th down. That'll force the Cats to kick a field goal, and that is not a bad thing when Jordan Wicks is the guy on your team doing the kicking.
And I felt pretty good because I remembered that I had done that big breakdown on his numbers the first 6 games compared to the last 3, and how he'd been playing so much better. And they were like, well, we listened multiple times to every game. So it's like, well, you're going to hear it. I said really great things. So
32-yard field goal attempt for Jordan Wicks. Near hash mark. Reed Hughes, Nick McEwen, and Jordan Wicks. Boy, what a weapon those 3 have been all year long. 6th field goal on the season for Jordan Wicks, and the Cats are on top 31-6 with 4:42 to play in the first half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Jordan Wicks, he's kicked 4 more extra points tonight and tacked on a 32-yard field goal. And the Cats are on top 31-6.
that was one of my worries, Jeff, was don't leave points on the field.
That is correct.
And they didn't. I like it. I was doing my study this week, and I get the season statistics every week and just kind of map them out and look over and just try and see what's kind of jumps out at me.
Trends, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just looking at his stats really popped to me this week. That
Jordan
5 of
Wicks.
6, on
Yes.
field goals, and how important that's been some really crucial moments, and how important of a weapon that is now that we're in the playoffs.
If I'm not mistaken, he missed a field goal against Springdale.
Yes.
Is that correct?
It was in the very first game.
Okay,
He was one of two.
so since week 2, he hasn't missed an extra point or a field goal attempt. And that's
right.
included a 4th and or a 42-yard at the end of the Southside game that sent that game into overtime. Just an outstanding year for a guy who devoted himself to baseball, and devoted himself to baseball to the point that he is not only a Division I athlete, but a Power 5 conference, if you will, as he's going to play his collegiate baseball at Kansas State. I know Coach Boucher looking forward to having him back on the diamond in the spring.
And that's something we've talked about all season, is just and kind of reflecting on this near decade of the Ashcraft era, is that you've really seen more athletes from all sports start to come out for football, and it's just been nice because it's you're bringing in talent from different corners of the school, and they're performing, really performing well.
Yeah, they're not just on the team; they are integral parts of the team. Matt Lloyd, of course, also doing the same thing, coming out for football in his senior year. Flag thrown. And before the flag, I think we may have had a timeout called. And it sure looks like we did. All right, 3:52 to play in the first half. Timeout on the field. Cats are up big. Let's take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5. Cats are on top 31-6, 3:52 to play in the first half. Remind you to stick around with the halftime. We'll have the Conway Regional Health System halftime show. We'll talk Dazzle Days with Pam Sims. That's coming up. Dazzle Days next weekend. I know you said your wife is excited about it.
We always get excited too about the children's activities they have during Dazzle Days. The Build-A-Bear kind of. I don't know if they build a bear, but they have these bears, and they check them with their stethoscopes, and it's fun. And then of course pictures with Santa and all that. We 501 Life is always a big sponsor,
right,
for those things, and so we try and take the kids, and it's turned into a little tradition with the kids the last 2 years.
Third down, that is next weekend, and the rate things are going, looks like we'll have football next week on Thursday night, which is great for you because you can take the family on Friday.
Yeah. Well, if I'm awake.
After being up late Thursday night?
It'll probably be 2 a.m. before we get home. Yeah,
you'll be fine. You're young. 3:20 to go. The clock's running in the first half. Lloyd back to throw, looking deep down the right-hand side into double coverage. Knocked away last minute there by Darnell Washington. And that brings up 4th down. It's Cat defense playing well. They gave up the 6 points. That drive, they're kind of on their heels a little bit through most of that and gave up the 6, but other than that, they've looked great.
And that's a big comeback possession or outing for this defense after giving up 6, and then being able to get a stop here late in the first half, keep any more damage from getting done, and give your offense a chance to put some more points on the board before halftime.
Cats up 31-6. Hernandez will punt. Wobbly kick taken at the 45-yard line by Jackson Freeman. Fair catch there. And the Cats will have it 1st and 10. Andrew Rhea having a great night. Giovanni Johnson having a great night. He has thrown a touchdown pass. He has caught a touchdown pass. 4 touchdown passes tonight for the Wampus Cats. Playing without the state's leading rusher in 7A. That's Michael George. Michael is dressed, and he would have been available if the Cats needed him, but so far they have not. And that's kind of the perfect scenario. Get a win tonight and keep Rogers and keep him out of the game against Rogers so he's available for next week.
Yeah, we said it at the beginning. The ideal situation is he doesn't play it down. He hasn't had to.
So far, right.
Nice.
Kerry McLean gets a down here and a huge run over the 40-yard line. Move the chains. It's a first down, a Conway Regional Health System first down. And Kerry McLean running hard. Watch this.
Yeah, had 26 yards on that last possession, and this offensive line opening up some holes for this running game now.
Took big hit on Mason Sell, the junior strong safety. It's 1st and 10. L.J. Hansberry and Keandre Clay. Great job making some space there on the right-hand side, and that's where he'll go again. Kerry McLean pushed out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, and it's second down.
Kerry McLean on the carry.
2:48 to go. Mentioned at halftime we'll visit about Dazzle Days. We'll also check all those halftime scores and see how the potential matchups are looking for next week. Fayetteville was up big over Fort Smith Southside. The other games are close, though. Cabot and Springdale, a 1-point game, and Harbor and Northside were tied. Will Kennedy takes the pass from Andrew Rhea. He'll get enough for a first down. There is a flag thrown in the direction of a block that was out there. We'll see if that's the call.
Shane Taylor, there's a penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on Nick Richmond the way he's reacting. Haven't been too many penalties tonight.
No, it's been pretty clean. Update on the Harbor Northside game. Harbor now up 9-7, so they must have got a safety.
2-run home run. 9-7. Harbor on top. So at this point,
Fayetteville 43-7.
Wow.
Still in the second quarter. So
all right, so that's a mercy rule there for the second half. So Fayetteville's going to move on. They will face Bryant next week. And that's a rematch of a game earlier this year.
Crazy game early. I think that was a week 2 game.
It was.
That was when I really thought, you know what? Those Bryant Hornets, they're pretty good. Because it wasn't in Bryant. They went to Fayetteville. And kind of how we went to Bentonville and did that.
Mm-hmm. Huge win. So that'll be a rematch of that next week in Saline County. Following the penalty, they'll hand the ball off to Kerry McLean. He's to the 33-yard line. That Fayetteville team is under a first-year head coach, Billy Dawson, who was at Russellville, made the move up to Fayetteville when Bill Blankenship, the coach, was there for a year, won a state title, and went back to the Tulsa area to coach. He's got grandkids and whatnot over there, so wanted to be back in that part of the world and made that move, and Fayetteville hasn't missed a beat.
Speaking of making moves, Kerry McLean.
Looking great. He and Brennan Clark both. We knew they would share the carries tonight. Brennan got the majority of them to begin with, but carries looked really good since he's been in.
Well, Rogers had him lined up. He's now at 57 yards on 8 carries, but he made a great move. Nice little cut. Got him about 4 or 5 yards.
1st and 10. Rhea looks to throw. Looks right and throws. Catch is made. That's Will Kennedy. The official was there looking at him, so if his hands are under it, you knew the call was going to be made, and they were. Will Kennedy, a great job to come back for that. Watch the replay.
Yeah, this is a low pass here from Rhea, and Kennedy gets underneath it there.
Nice, at the 15-yard line. Not a surprise that everyone wearing white was saying it was not a catch. 1st and 10. Rhea looks into the corner of the end zone for Nick Richmond. Can't bring it in. Second time on as many drives as Rhea has thrown that same pass. The ball's been there on the hands of the receiver. Got to put a little bit of air under it. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it's been 2 very similar crossing patterns out there on the left, and both times they've tried to get it to that outside receiver. And both times just been a little bit out of reach.
2nd and 10. Rhea's going to throw again. Looks through his progressions. Now will throw over the middle. Will Kennedy goes up, makes the catch. There is a flag on the field.
And Rhea's pass complete to Will Kennedy.
Rhea threw it to a perfect spot. We'll see if the touchdown's going to count. Boy, the Wampus Cats are standing around there. I'm afraid they can hear it better than we can.
Yeah.
Boy, what a throw from Rhea. And what a catch from Will Kennedy going up. Looked to have been his 2nd touchdown catch of the night and of the season, but it's going to come back.
Nick Richmond is like, what? What is happening?
Replay 2nd down.
And that's a big penalty, too, because it puts them just a bit outside probably a field goal range.
Yeah, they've got to get to the 5 for a first down to put the football at the 31-yard line.
So 2nd and really long here. If you're Conway, you don't have to get it all back. Really, you're trying to get back to that 25, 20-yard line at least on these next 2 plays.
Rhea will throw. Through the hands of Tim Howard, who was there on defense, looking for Will Kennedy. Now it is 3rd down and long. So you talked about it, that you didn't have to get all of it back there, and they weren't trying to. But now they really got to chew up some yardage here to get into a field goal range.
And the way Kerry McLean's been running here in the second quarter, I don't know if you might do this trips left, make it look like they're going to pass, and then try and get 5 or 6 yards up the middle.
Chris Anderson's in the game at tight end. He's set up to the right. Rhea steps up in the pocket and throws. Ball unable to be brought in. There have been so many dropped balls tonight. That one was just a little bit behind Joe Thomas. It's going to bring up 4th down, and they're in that spot on the field where you kind of have to, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real tough spot because it's you know, I mean, it's a lot of yards to try and pick up in one play, but you're just a bit outside of your field goal range. Maybe try and get them to jump off sides, pick up 5 yards, and
you'd have to have them jump off sides 5 times.
Well, but I mean, just to get within a little closer to field goal range.
Trying to act like I could do some really quick math. All right, 4th and 26. Get them all, Andrew. Catch was not made. Joe Thomas was the intended receiver. Just a half step off on so many of those throws. And so the Cats will give the football back to the Rogers Mounties. 1st and 10. Boy, it looked like there was the touchdown to Kennedy. Had to come back because of the hold, and the penalty definitely hurt.
But I still love how this passing game has been performing here in the first half. I mean, they put up some big numbers. Rhea, 10 of 22, so that completion percentage has come way down here in the second quarter. But 210 yards, 3 touchdowns. Of course, Giovanni Johnson had a touchdown earlier as well. And that gives you a lot of confidence when your passing game's playing like that without your leading rusher.
McWhirter gets the screen pass as we brought the house to try to get to the quarterback. Jordan Dobie comes up with it, but they'll say he was down, and there's a flag on the field. Clock stops the minute 13 to play in the first half.
The official went over there and kicked the flag around to try and make it visible, I guess. I don't know what that was about.
Unless he was trying to get it to if it was a foul that was from the spot on the field.
The spot, yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe he was trying to kick it.
Well, there were a lot of white jerseys nearby. I think he just wanted it to be seen.
Block in the back on the Rogers Mounties.
So that definitely is a spot foul.
Right.
So what you said makes way more sense.
Nah. I was also trying to talk you into 5 offsides penalties back to back. 1st down and 11 following the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Cats up 31-6, looking to get a win tonight for the 2nd year in a row over Rogers in the first round of the playoffs. Make a trip to Northwest Arkansas in the 2nd round. Last year, run into a buzzsaw in Fayetteville, so hoping for a different result on Thursday night against Bentonville West if we get there. Kennedy bringing the pressure. So is Jordan Dobie. Pass is incomplete. Falls out of bounds. Looking for Hawkins. Logan White's in the game, number 44. Good to see him. You talked about the health of this offense, the health of the defense, and it really is at a point where it's probably as healthy as it's been all year. Missing B.J. Jones, who had came in the middle of the season and really performed well. Broken leg, and he is out for the rest of the year. But other than that, everyone else that's been banged up is back. Kane Aaron and Logan White, to name a few.
I said probably the healthiest it's been since the start of the season, but wasn't very healthy even at the start of the season.
That was the reason we saw Matt Lloyd, because Blake Walter was hurt. Tip into the hands of Drake. Wow.
Now, it's always the danger of tipping it up.
Yep.
Especially at the end of a half. Extend the drive.
I don't know if we've got a replay of that or not, but that was just...
It's hard, though. It's hard not to, you just want to get a hand on it.
Right.
Instincts kicked in.
31-6 is our score. Cats are up big. Rogers at midfield. Play clock down to 10.
That's a lot of time coming off for this Rogers team.
Once they set the ball, they started the clock. Half a minute to go.
Confused on formation here.
Trying to do a trick play. McWhirter was going to think about throwing it. Now he will throw it. That was a mess from the start.
You could tell it was a trick play because they were like, they just didn't look quite right. They got a little shaky out there.
Let's watch the replay of that tipped ball. It was caught by Garrett Drake. Looks like we may not have that. Some technical difficulties, that happens. It's week 11. Official timeout. But that pass over the middle was just tipped perfectly and into the perfect stride of Garrett Drake, who was able to get to midfield, where Rogers has the ball now. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll visit with Pam Sims about Dazzle Days, which is next weekend. And always a fun event. Now, in a previous life, when I worked for a radio station in Little Rock, I would spend a lot of
that was
Dazzle
another life, huh?
Right? And I would spend a lot of the Thursday nights out at Dazzle Days, and so before the event would begin, and always a great time. And you mentioned earlier, it's really kind of become a tradition for a lot of families, and so it's something definitely worth looking at, and we'll talk about that more at halftime. 31-6, and I believe, here we go. This is the replay on that. Watch the tip. I guess it was Roman Aaron that got a hand on it. You talked about tipping it up, and it went right into the hands of Drake. Great job in the truck. Thanks for getting this stat, guys. 2nd down and 10. Lloyd will throw. Knocked away. Boy, good defense.
If you go back, I think it was the Southside game, or maybe even the North Little Rock game. Really, kind of those two games, because I think they were in succession. But we saw, a few plays in those two games where our defense was getting, let's just say it, torched on some big pass plays.
Fair enough.
That Southside game in particular.
Yes.
In the second half, I mean, nobody was stopping anybody. But you've really seen this secondary grow over the course of the season, because plays like that happened against Southside, they were not going our way, a month ago.
Right.
And they're going our way tonight.
Lloyd throws. Jackson Freeman knows that he had his 4th pick of the year. 4th down. 4th and 10 with 15 seconds to go. So they're going to go for it. And if they don't get it, the Cats are going to get the ball with time to maybe try to put some points on the board before halftime. 4th down and 10, 15 seconds.
They're confused again. Another trick play.
Casey Allred is in, setting up next to Lloyd. We talked about it earlier, and it's worth mentioning, especially when you see some confusion like this. This team has a bunch of sophomores, a bunch of really young players that are playing on both sides of the ball. Now, granted, you're at a point in the season where not everybody's a sophomore anymore. You played 10 games and played against, especially in the 7A West, it's a grind, to say the least. And so you see some growing pains, but they're struggling right now to make some things work. And so they are going to punt the ball now, following the 5-yard penalty. So there are 13 seconds to go officially on the game clock. Hernandez is going to punt. Low snap. Almost blocked. Takes a Rogers bounce, and it will be... Boy, Ricky Fuller got so close. I don't know how he didn't get to that one. There is 1 second left. He knows that he had his shot at it.
Hat off, and
he'll get on the sideline. They'll remind him real quick to get over there. So a good first half for the Wampus Cats, to say the least, leading 31-6. We'll see if they take a knee and then head to the locker room. So leading 31-6, and we haven't seen Michael George at all. So positives all around right there.
Looks good.
All right, let's see if they try to throw one deep, or if they're just going to take a knee, or if they're going to run it out. And they will run it out with Kerry McLean. Kerry brought down after about 10 yards, so another good carry for McLean. A good first half for the Wampus Cats. 31-6, the Cats have the lead. It is time now for the Conway Regional Health System halftime show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Kendrick with Conway Regional Health System. Conway Regional has been an important part of this community since 1938, providing excellent care with skill and compassion. But we're not just a hospital. Let me tell you about some of our fantastic facilities and services. Located off of College Avenue, just a few blocks down from the medical center, Conway Regional After Hours Clinic is equipped to handle a wide variety of problems for patients of all ages. If you need urgent care, and it's after work or on the weekend, the Conway Regional After Hours Clinic is open 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Conway Regional After Hours Clinic, your best option for after-hours care. Located on Robinson Avenue next to Laurel Park, the Conway Regional Rehabilitation Hospital is one of only 4 licensed inpatient rehab hospitals in the entire state. Patients are cared for by specially trained staff under the direction of an on-site physician who specializes in rehabilitation medicine. Conway Regional Rehab Hospital, your choice for comprehensive care to bring you one step closer to home.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center, over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
With 4 locations in Conway and Greenbrier, some with extended clinic hours, our dedicated team provides therapy services, including physical, speech, and occupational therapy, aquatic therapy, cardiac rehabilitation, sports outreach, and pelvic floor rehabilitation. At Conway Regional, we are committed to providing all of our patients the highest quality of care.
The Conway Regional Health System halftime show continues. It's Jeff and Levi with you in the booth. Pam Sims joins us now. We're going to talk about Dazzle Days, which comes up next weekend. 31-6 is our score right now, with the Wampus Cats having the lead, and we'll talk about the first half in just a few moments. But first of all, welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
And,
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So
it's been a pleasure.
It's a big night here, and it'll be a big night next Thursday night, we hope, for football. But that's the start of a big weekend for Dazzle Days.
Extremely, very busy. So Thursday night is the kickoff for us.
Yeah.
So, like you're going to kick off football, we're going to kick off Dazzle Days with a great event for Ladies' Night Out.
Okay. And then Friday and Saturday, general shopping?
Friday and Saturday is general shopping. Absolutely. Okay. It's going to be thousands of shoppers there, we hope.
Yeah.
If we make it like we did last year, there'll be several thousand people there.
And Levi earlier talked about how this has become a family tradition for him and his family. What were you talking about, your family enjoys?
Yeah, so on Friday mornings, they have like pictures with Santa, and they have like songs, like the little Santa's helpers come out and sing songs. And I think 501 Life is usually a sponsor of this event. And they have little goodie bags, 501 Kids for all the kids. I think in the past, too, they've also had the teddy bears.
Well, okay, so this year, in the past, what you're talking about is the pajama party that the kids would come in and have a story read by Santa. Well, this year, we're doing something different. We're actually doing the teddy bear clinic. So kids can come out. There'll be several times during the weekend, so it's not just one time. So they can come out. There's a list on dazzledays.com of those events.
Okay.
They can come out, bring their own teddy bear.
Nice.
And then they'll get to dress up and play doctor. We'll actually have providers from Conway Regional Health System that's going to be out there helping the kids kind of get acclimated to actually feeling comfortable to go to the doctor. So they'll get stethoscopes, and they'll get to put on a mask and shoes and, cover up. And then if they don't have a bear, we will have bears there that they can buy.
So, of course, in Conway, we spell days, D-A-Z-E, so it's dazzledays.com.
Right.
And so is that where you can also buy raffle tickets for that car I see all over town?
Did you see that car out there tonight on the football field or at the end of the end zone there? Yes. 2017 black Mustang, and she's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a convertible, and so, of course, this is not good convertible weather right now. But
but it will be.
Yeah, but it will be.
We've all lived here long enough to know that for sure.
It won't be long.
So dazzledays.com, Girls Night Out Thursday night, general shopping Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
Anything?
Just let me remind the ladies out there that if they want to come to the Girls Night Out, advance tickets are $30, $40 at the door.
Okay.
And then the general shopping is $7.50. They can it's $10 at the door, so they can actually drive into the parking lot and log on and buy a $7.50 ticket.
Nice. And one thing that's important to remember in all this is the funds
get
poured back into Conway Regional. And as a family that's had 3 babies at Conway Regional, I appreciate
Yes, and we've poured a lot of funds back into Conway Regional over 16 years. years.
Wow.
So this is our 16th year to do
Nice.
this, and so we know what we're doing. We've been doing this a while.
Yeah, well, we'll remind people next week about it
Yes,
as well. 'cause
absolutely.
Hopefully
Thank
we'll
you.
have a game next Thursday. Pam, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Pam Sims with Conway Regional and Dazzle Days. DazzleDays.com is where you'll get more information about that. All right, we'll take a break and come back and have the first half stats. We'll also look at the scoreboard and see where folks are looking like they're going to line up for next week and have the second half coming up on Conway Corp Channel 5.
It's that time of year again when shopping can be good for your health. Join the fun November 16th through 18th for Dazzle Days at the Conway Expo Center. Get in the Christmas spirit with the shopping extravaganza, featuring merchants with home decor, jewelry, gift items, and so much more. Plus, the kids can visit with Santa. Don't forget your chance to win a new 2017 Ford Mustang convertible. Get your tickets today by calling 501-513-5191 or visit DazzleDays.com, benefiting Conway Regional Health Foundation.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
31-6 is our halftime score. Getting ready to start the second half, and Levi's got to look at some of the first half stats.
Yeah, Conway outgained this Rogers team 348 yards to 110 in the first half. So big disparity there. Big night for the passing game. Andrew Rhea already 10 of 22 for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. Of course, Giovanni Johnson also has a passing touchdown as well.
That's right.
A 22-yard touchdown that he got. I think that was to Will Kennedy, that particular one.
Yep.
Third down's been good for Conway, 5 of 9, 55%. On the other side, Conway defense has held this Rogers team to just 1 of 8 on third down. So it's been nice. And Kerry McLean has been a nice surprise tonight in the ground game in that second quarter, really. I think that's where all his carries came in. They had 9 carries for 66 yards. So on a night with no Michael George, who has almost 1,800 rushing yards, this Conway offense put up 31 points in the first half.
And looking for 2 more quarters, even if they weren't just like it, just enough to get a win and get to move on to the second round of the state playoffs. The winner of this game will take on Bentonville West next Thursday night at Bentonville High School. Bentonville West will have its own stadium next year, is what we understand. But for now, they still play their games at Bentonville High School. Bentonville High School will be hosting the winner of the Cabot and Springdale game on Friday night. And that's a good one over in Cabot right now. Springdale has the lead 21-20. Fayetteville's going to move on. They are beating up on Fort Smith Southside right now, 43-7. So they have a rematch with Bryant awaiting in the second round. Harbor and Northside, they've got a good game there. The winner of that will play at North Little Rock, and they're on our side of the bracket. So now on our side, you're wondering what's going to happen there. Harbor and Northside, a 2-point game. Winner gets North Little Rock. The winner of our game gets Bentonville West next Thursday. So we'll watch that as the night goes on. Pressure on Lloyd, the first snap of the second half. Jordan Doby over there close, but can't get him.
And I got an update on that Harbor Northside score. Northside put punts on the board here in the third quarter. 14-9 now they lead Harbor.
All right. So Northside leading Harbor. The winner of that game again gets North Little Rock. North Little Rock Charging Wildcats they're playing some great football right now. Second consecutive undefeated regular season. Scored almost 400 points this year in a 10-game season, so averaging right at 40 points a game.
Yeah, I think they really got better as the season went on, because I'll say the team that we saw, I just wouldn't have believed they would have gone 10-0.
Agreed.
But not trying to say that in a pejorative way at all, but they must have gotten better, even better after our game as well.
Whistle and a foul called. So the penalty backs it up a little bit here. It'll be second down.
I like that third down stat for this defense.
Very much.
1 of 8. 12%. I like it.
This team needs to stay focused and keep the throttle going. Slung up into the air and goes out of bounds. Logan White was there putting some pressure on the quarterback, Hunter Lloyd. Big sophomore, 6'4", 194-pounder. But he's seen some Good pressure from the Wampus Cat front 7. So 3rd down and 9, where you said earlier, 1 of 8 in the first half.
Yeah, been nice pressure from this defense tonight. They've gotten a sack, forced a turnover, although that was, I think, on special teams.
I was on a run. Yeah, I was on a run. McWhirter was running and lost it. Will not get it. Pass was complete to Ross, Mason Ross. And Tyler Banks was there to pull him down. 21 Reasons makes the stop. And it is 4th down, 4th and 2, and this Wampus Cat defense holds.
21 Reasons. He played that ball well. He tried to get his hand in there to knock it down, but then made sure he held on and didn't let him get it close to that first down.
Jackson Freeman and Will Kennedy are deep to receive. Hernandez's punt. End over end will go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll put it down at the 35-yard line. And that's where the Wampus Cats will have their first possession of the second half. They scored on 4 possessions in a row. It wasn't the first 4 possessions, but 4 possessions in a row there in the first quarter. And all 4 were touchdown passes. 3 of them from Andrew Rhea, 1 from Giovanni Johnson. Giovanni caught one also.
Yeah. Hey, Giovanni, how would you like to just play a brand new position this week and do well, you know?
On the ground, Brennan Clark. Brennan will get to the 40-yard line. Part of me thinks that we may see more of the running game in this second half. Cats are up big. Couldn't quite get to the point where we have the sportsmanship rule, but shortening the game, just get out of here with the win, move the chains, move the clock, see if that's the strategy in the second half. Brennan Clark. He will move the chains. Conway Regional Health System first down. The ball is at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 Cats.
Yeah, that passing game was on fire in the first quarter. You mentioned those 4 touchdown passes. They all came in the first quarter.
Yes.
Second quarter offense cooled a little bit, but the ground game came about in the second quarter, particularly Kerry McLean, who, you know, obviously these guys aren't going to give you that same level of production that you got from Michael George, but they've been really great in the roles they've played in the regular season, and tonight they've come in and Kerry McLean in particular giving you that good yards per carry, helping you get first downs when you need them, and especially now here in the second half, like you said, just shorten this game and get out of here with a W.
Clark picked up 8 on that first down carry. It's 2nd down and 2. Clark to the near side. Brennan following his blockers. It'll be enough to move the chains. A Conway Regional Health System first down. Cats moving the ball on the ground.
And this might be one of those 10-play, 65-yard drives where it's all on the ground.
Absolutely. Chew up some clock. If we're going to have to see number 30 on the sideline, this is about the best possible scenario. Get his legs completely back underneath him and get healthy for next week. Brennan Clark to the 33-yard line. Another big run for Clark as he has had a great second half so far.
The best part of it all is that you keep him on the sidelines, you let him get that rest, but then also your passing game gets a lot of confidence here in the first half. And, I mean, now you go into next week's matchup with a confident passing game. Oh, and the biggest weapon on your team is back.
Right. Clark trips up. It was enough for a first down, but he wanted a whole lot more. Conway Regional Health System first down. The Cats are moving the ball down to the 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
And give credit to this offensive line because in the first quarter, that passing game was rolling. Running game, really not much to talk about. But in the second quarter and here on this first drive in their first possession of the second half, they are opening up lanes for these backs.
Clark will run right behind L.J. Hansberry, the starting center for this team. It's going to be 2nd down.
I was talking to a colleague this week, and talking about the game, of course. That's all people at Axiom want to talk about is the game.
I love it.
But they're like, "Oh man, you're going to be in the booth. You're going to be warm." I'm like, "Yeah, sorry,
Actually,
I'm not apologizing for that."
I don't think we will be next week, though. If we're playing Thursday night at Bentonville West, playing in the same stadium where Bentonville High School plays, where we were for week 3, that's the night that we'll be out with our people.
Back in the stands.
Back in the stands with our people.
Well, last time we were at that field, it was a good night.
Wow, that was a great night. That was a great night. It'd be great to go on the road and get another win. One at a time, though. Tonight, taking care of business so far, up 31-6. 3rd down and 7. Rhea, first throw of the second half. He'll throw over the middle for Nick Richmond. The Cats have dropped so many passes tonight.
Yeah, that has happened a lot tonight. Early on in the first quarter, I think Rhea was like 7 of 9 or 5 of 7, something like that. And you look at his numbers now, 10 of 23 for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I mean, at least 5 of those have been right in the hands.
He threw a touchdown pass that was called back because of a holding penalty. That one was right on the fingertips of Nick Richmond. 40-yard field goal attempt here for Nick Richmond. For Jordan Wicks. 40-yard attempt is good. 7 out of 8 on the season. A 40-yard field goal makes it 34-6. The Cats are up big with 7:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5. Jordan Wicks, boy, he's having a night. 4 more extra points, 2 field goals tonight, including a 40-yarder there. Cats are up 34-6.
Yeah, Brennan Clark came on strong in that possession. He's now up to 62 yards on 15 carries. So you got McLean with 66, Clark with 62, Johnson with 18, and Joe Thomas had that 11-yard run in the first half. And so this tandem is putting up the rushing output that you would expect to see.
Right, from one man.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, I just can't imagine what it would be like to go into a playoff game, even against a team that you're heavily favored, and to just not have your top offensive weapon, and on top of that, to not have one of your top receivers, and on top of that, your left tackle had a really hard week and didn't get on the practice field that much. But this team, they came out and they've done it. They've performed and executed well.
Will McKenna was really coming into his own, too. He had a huge game against Catholic and had a touchdown catch last week before the injury. McWhorter on the carry. Logan White gets the stop. Logan missed 5 games earlier in the season. It's good to have him back, one of the senior leaders of this team.
And you just really see even more. We've seen it all season, but even more so the character of this team to just say, look, we're going to get it done. We're going to plug our backup quarterback in at receiver, and we're going to find ways to get it done.
Incomplete. Pass was intended for Sims, and it will be 3rd down.
And as good as this defense has been this year, that really gives your offense the confidence to make some changes and to plug in some new guys and to plug in some more wrinkles in the 11th week of the season.
That's right. Things that we haven't even dreamed that we would see. And obviously, the Giovanni move to receiver was a necessity. Thank you. Necessitated because of the injury. But still, he hadn't missed a beat, playing a brand new position. Pass is complete. Going to be good for a 1st down to Hawkins. Stop is going to be made by Jackson Freeman. Tez Miller, well, he had big eyes on a pick and a 6, but unfortunately it went through his hands.
That was Thanksgiving eyes, right? Where
yes.
Your eyes are a little bigger than your plate.
Got that
in your belly.
Feast eyes. Feast mode.
Wouldn't you like to be playing the
week
day
of
after
Thanksgiving?
That'd be nice.
Great. It's only happened a couple of times since we've been doing the Wampus Cat games. Got to get the win in week 2 of the playoffs to get to that point, of course. Don't have to necessarily win 2 games, but if you're playing this week, you got to win 2 to get there. Pass is complete. That's thrown out to another one of the sophomores, Ross. They have about 7 sophomores that see significant playing time on the offensive side, including 3 on the offensive line.
Good tackle and finish there from Darnell Washington as he wraps up and doesn't let him get away. Strong hands, strong arms.
2nd down and 3. Cats have given up 1 touchdown tonight. Rogers went for 2. Not successful, so that's how they got their 6 points. On the ground, nowhere to go on the ground. Dropped to the 40-yard line. Kane Aaron makes the stop on Colin McWhirter. And it's 3rd down.
We did have a Conway fan before the game predict a 32-6 score.
Right?
It was pretty close.
Bruce Anderson came up and he was mouthing something to us, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying. And finally,
through the glass.
It was quiet enough through the glass, in the press box. He could actually just tell us. He was trying to say 32-6. 34-6 right now. 3rd down and 4. Hunter Lloyd, coach's son, is the quarterback. He's a 6'4", 200-pound sophomore. He's going to call a timeout for his dad, and they're going to talk about things before they have this 3rd down play. We'll take a timeout with the teams on the field. 4:45 to play. 34-6 is our score. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Hi, my name is Ashley Mann, and I would like for you to join me on my show, Breathe Yoga, on Channel 5. Each episode will consist of a 30-minute yoga practice that will help you along your yoga journey, whether you are new to yoga or an advanced practitioner. So if you've always wanted to try yoga but didn't know where to begin, join me on Breathe Yoga, only on Channel 5.
4:46 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Cats are on top 34-6, Levi.
Yeah, I was looking at the 3rd down stats again for this Conway defense. And, of course, they gave up a big play on 3rd down earlier on this possession. My iPad is failing me here. I'm going to have to switch over to the, over to the phone. I've had this
real-world problems.
Of course, right when I pull
talk
up the
bad
phone.
about it.
Yeah. No, 2 for 10. So they've held them to 20% on 3rd down as we prepare for 3rd and 4.
4:46 to go, 3rd quarter. Cats looking to get a 6th win in the playoffs in the Clint Ashcraft era. 5-8 coming into this year in the playoffs. Pass is incomplete. Hawkins had his hands on it, but as he fell in front of Washington, ball was knocked loose by the ground, and it's 4th down. So 4th down and 4. 34-6. The Mounties have the ball at the 40-yard line. They're going to go for it. Sophomore quarterback. Going to feel some heat. Here they come. He'll throw it. Pass is tipped. There is a flag on the field. And that is going to be against the Wampus Cats. So, there's a couple of things that can happen when you sling the ball down there like that. And the ball's not going to be caught. Sometimes there'll be an interference call, and that's what's happened on a few occasions.
I think that one could have gone either way, though.
And they're going to call it on the Wampus Cats.
If it was against Conway, it was very subtle. Very subtle pass interference.
And Stats mentioned it during halftime. Anytime he throws that pass where he's just kind of leans back, and I keep saying sling it, but that's what it looks like he's doing. He's just kind of slinging it up there, and it really is up for grabs. But as he gets some more experience and learns to stand up in the pocket, he's got good size. Grown up around the game. He's going to be a good one. Rolls left. Throws. Complete. McGlynn makes the catch. Matt Lloyd makes the stop. Over 100 tackles this year for Matt Lloyd. First year playing football since his junior high days. He wasn't expected to start. Got the start when Blake Walter was hurt, and they have not been able to get him off the field since.
Yeah, it's been a very welcome addition and just made this linebacking core so much deeper.
Lloyd drops way back. Screen pass complete to McWhorter. He'll find the edge. Ball is loose. It hits the ground. And they're going to say he was down inside the 5-yard line. McWhorter hurdles his way towards the goal line and is stopped. And so 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Garrett Fusilier hustles in along with Corlin McKinney.
I'm having a funny little moment here because we can hear the Rogers broadcaster in the room next to us.
Yes.
It's funny how different his call was for that than ours was.
As we got very quiet.
Yeah, we were very subdued, and he was very excited.
Flag and whistle before the play can begin. That Hunter Lloyd under center. 3:34 to go in the third. Going to be offsides, an encroachment call against the Wampus Cats. I'll put them a little bit closer. Not a lot of room to move them at half the distance. Quarterback sneak for Hunter Lloyd, and he is going to get into the end zone. So 34-12, the Wampus Cats have the lead. Second touchdown of the night for the Rogers Mounties. Team that's scoring 18.5 points a game. They have put 12 on the board tonight against your Wampus Cats.
See if they go with this funny. I think they're going to go with a little more traditional 2-point conversion.
Seems that way, yeah. Lloyd will throw over the middle. And the catch is made on the 2-point conversion. And it's a 20-point lead for the Wampus Cats, 34-14. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Updates on some of the other scores. Update here, it's 34-14, by the way. Cats are leading Rogers by 20. In Cabot, the Panthers have a 9-point lead now over Springdale, 30-21. Fayetteville is rolling over Fort Smith Southside, 50-27, so they're going to move on to face Bryant next week. And Northside has taken a lead over Harbor, 14-9. The winner of that game travels to North Little Rock next week. Of course, our winner gets Bentonville West on Thursday night. Hernandez will kick, trailing by 20. Little pooch kick. It is going to be taken at the 28-yard line by Jackson Freeman. And he gets to the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. This Wampus Cat offense scored on 4 straight possessions in the first quarter. 4 straight touchdown passes. Since then, 2 field goals. And that's it. And so this offense needs to... They're doing what they have to do to move the clock along and to hopefully get to the point it's a win, but they need to see some positives happen here.
I mean, it's very eerie, very similar to a week ago, except that you're not on the losing end right now.
Right.
But, I mean, very similar pattern in terms of getting a lot of points in that first quarter and then offense kind of cooling down a little bit.
Brennan Clark, great run, close to another first down. Brennan is running really good here in the second half, and it is going to be enough for a first down. A Conway Regional Health System first down, move the chains for the Cats.
Yeah, him and Kerry McLean have been kind of exchanging the rushing lead gone a little bit back and forth. Clark regains it there. He's now got 72 yards on 16 carries, and McLean 66 on 9.
McLean's turn. Big hit on Nate Hahn. Knocks him out. Out of bounds. Not knocked him out, but out of bounds. Sorry.
I like what I've seen from McLean tonight.
Me too.
And on the season as well. And it's that time of year where we got to... I mean, I don't even want to think of a world without Michael George, but I'm going to have to at some point.
Wow, that's very dramatic.
I mean, he's
second down and 6. Brennan Clark get to the 42-yard line. You know, it was in this game a year ago where Michael George became Michael George.
Yes.
It was in this game a year ago. He had 24 carries for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 35-20 win that the Cats had over Rogers in the first round of the playoffs a year ago. And now this year, with the exception of the Springdale game, he has been over 100 yards every game since.
Yeah.
And has rushed for almost 1,800 yards, and his total offensive output has been more than 40% of the entire team's offensive output. It has been a breakout year for Michael George, and fortunately the depth on this team has allowed him to stay on the sideline tonight, get completely healed from being banged up a little bit a week ago, and he'll be ready to go for Thursday night.
Yeah, give a lot of credit to these other running backs, Clark and McLean, and of course this offensive line. I mean, all year they've been doing amazing things. I mean, they've had some challenging games. That Springdale game was one of them, and then of course last week against a just really strong front four for Bryant. But I mean, anytime you give a rusher almost 1,800 yards, your offensive line is doing amazing things.
Going to be 3rd down and 3. Just under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's a 3rd down and 3.
Conway 50% on 3rd down tonight. 5 out of 10. It's a good number you like to see go up because it went down after last week's game. They were at 41% on the year going into that Bryant matchup. And after that Bryant game last week, it dropped 2 percentage points, which, I mean, doesn't sound like a lot, but to drop that low in one game is pretty significant.
So 4th down and 3, they will send the Rhino package out, and so, actually, correction, they're not going to send the Rhino package out. Giovanni Johnson went on the field, but he's going to set up as a receiver to the left-hand side. So 4th down, Rhea's going to throw to him. Complete to Giovanni Johnson. Boy, what a night for Giovanni Johnson. Makes the catch there on 4th down and moves the chains. It's a Conway Regional Health System, 1st down.
Yeah, I really like to see him get that ball in. He's had a few drops tonight, which, you know, he's brand new at the position.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, he's also had the touchdown reception as well. So, good to see him be able to execute after a few drops.
40 seconds to go in the third. Hand off to McLean. Carry close to the 20-yard line. Be pushed back by Casey Allred. And they will not have to snap the ball if they don't choose to. The play clock hasn't started yet, and there's only 15 seconds to go on the official game clock.
And if I'm Bentonville West, I don't know if I want to face Michael George off of a week off rest.
Well, and everything that you prepared for, if you'd watched any film at all this year, none of it, throw it all out, because everything that you've seen tonight, it looks nothing like what you've seen leading into Week 11. All right, we're going to the fourth quarter. Cats are up by 20, and it's 2nd down and 3 when we come back. 60-second timeout, and we are back to John McConnell Stadium on Conway Corp Channel 5.
Fitness is about so much more than exercise. It's a catalyst for positive change, and it affects every aspect of your life. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center is your source for comprehensive medical-based health and fitness programs. Dedicated to improving the wellness of those within our community, we offer something for everyone in the family. Conway Regional Health and Fitness Center. Over 20 years of health and wellness in our community.
Hi, I'm Robin Dyer and welcome to Burn. It's time to work out. This workout is going to be quick, something you can do at home for your busy lifestyle. Give me about half an hour and I'm going to help you find your breathless edge. This is the workout that's going to be suited just for you. So come join me and let's get fit together.
Start of the fourth quarter from Conway tonight. First round of the playoffs. Conway playing host to the Rogers Mounties. Winner gets Bentonville West on Thursday night. 2nd down and 3. Handoff to Kerry McLean. He runs right up the middle. Runs between Lance Rogers and Keandre Clay. Runs right behind L.J. Hansberry. And you're going to move the chains. The Conway Regional Health System 1st down.
Yeah, good read by McLean there as the offensive line, they all shift right with their blocks, and he makes that little, almost like a little Denver Bronco cut, that one move system that they've run forever, and able to pick up that 1st down.
Short gain there.
As he and Clark just continue to flip-flop. It's like whoever gets this possession is going to retake the rushing lead. But over 431 yards of offense.
Wow.
Through 3 quarters for this Conway Wampus Cat team. Clark, 85 yards. McLean, 84 yards.
And Kerry's on the field right now, so chances are he will take the lead.
It'd be nice. It would be really nice for both of them to go over the century mark tonight.
McLean gets a chance here to take the lead back. His leading rusher, they may be tied for what that's worth. It will be 3rd down. It's taken the 2 of them, but you really have seen the output that what we've gotten used to from Michael George and what this team expects from Michael George. It's taken 2 to contribute that many yards, but they're doing it.
Yeah, a ton of credit to them. They're doing their jobs tonight.
That's right.
For sure. And they have been all season.
Yeah, but significantly more carries tonight than they're used to. Brennan Clark did have 65 carries coming into tonight, so he's obviously been the backup for most of the season and been the first back to get some carries after Michael George comes off the field. Kerry McLean that time inside the 10, and it will be 4th down.
It was a nice job by McLean and Rhea there on the low snap, being able to collect themselves, and that could have easily been a negative play, and they turn it into 2 or 3 yard gains.
So after those 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, Cats have kicked a couple of field goals since, and they'll try it again here. So they've still not gotten back into the end zone since the 1 minute and 40-second mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, they've been outscored in the last 2 quarters. 6 points in the, I think it was 6-3 in the second, and then 8-3 in the third.
Chance to put 3 on the board here in the fourth quarter. Field goal is good. 3rd of the night for Jordan Wicks. There's a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about before we take our break. Cats are up 37-14.
So he had 5 made field goals coming into tonight. Gets 3.
Yeah, got 3 more tonight.
So he's nearing his season total.
And once again, it's worth mentioning that Jordan Wicks, he's missed 1 field goal. That happened in week 1. So since week 2, he hasn't missed a kick. No extra points, no field goals. Everything has been good from Jordan Wicks since week 2. The officials sorting this out.
Really talking about it.
And the longer they talk about it, the better chances we're just going to keep it here. So we'll just let everybody in the truck know we're just going to keep it here following this timeout. We'll see if we can't check some scores from around the state. We know Fayetteville's taking care of Fort Smith Southside. That one's probably pretty close to being over.
Northside scores again in the fourth quarter. It's 21-9 up over Harbor.
And again, the winner of that game is going to get North Little Rock. That's on our side of the bracket.
So upset brewing. in Springdale.
And that's the only one of the night. Cabot is leading over Springdale 30-21. Cabot the 4 seed, Springdale the 5. Fayetteville's taking care of Southside, a 3 seed versus a 6 seed there. Conway leading Rogers, of course, 3 seed over a 6 seed here, but Northside 21-9 over Harbor, a Harbor team that was the number 1 team for the early part of the season. And they got into the teeth of their 7A West schedule and had a couple of losses and fell back a little bit. Not sure what all this is about, but we'll get
2 fouls.
Personal foul against against Rogers. So how about that? We'll take the points off the board. All right. Okay. All right, so here's what's happened. Take the points off the board. 34-14. And a penalty is going to give Conway a first down, but then a penalty against the Wampus Cats is going to back him up a little bit.
Yeah, 2 personal fouls, 1 on each side, so most likely some extracurriculars going on somewhere.
So it's first down now for the Wampus Cats. They'll have the ball at the 20-yard line.
Stats working his fingers out over here on the iPad. That's a unique situation that we've had tonight.
So Rhea and Clark on the field.
And it's 1st and goal, technically. So
from the 20-yard line. From the 19.5. All right.
This is talk about a drive killer here.
20-point lead for the Cats. Pulled 3 off the board, so we'll see what happens. Rhea. Pass complete. Chris Anderson. Did he get in? Yep. Well, 6 is better than 3 anytime, right?
I like it.
Chris Anderson, good to see the Cats get back into the end zone. It had been since the end of the first quarter. Got in there. The 2nd touchdown of the night for Chris Anderson, his 3rd on the year.
Yeah, give Stats credit. He called it before the game. Said, we've got to find more ways to get 5 the ball. And Conway has done it tonight.
Cats up 40-14. That's the average number of points that this Rogers defense had given up all year. And here comes the extra point. And it is good, and Jordan Wicks continues. Incredible streak here. 56 straight extra points on the season. 41-14, the Cats are up comfortably, 9:24 to play in the game. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
If something goes wrong with your heart, you can trust Conway Regional. Our cardiac specialists help save lives by having some of the state's fastest response times. We offer complete care, including a cath lab team, cardiac rehab experts. And if you need surgery, you'll go down the hallway, not the highway, to Conway's only heart surgery team. Complete cardiac care, completely in Conway. One team, one promise, Conway Regional.
9:24 to play in the game. Cats are up 41-14. So that was a weird thing.
Yeah.
But it turned out good.
Yeah, it turned out really well for Conway.
Sometimes weird things turn out good.
As a wise man once said about, 2 minutes ago, 6 is better than 3.
Yes. I stood by it then, and I'll stand by it now.
How's that cookie?
Delicious, dude. I wish there was a 60-second timeout. It's a Jordan Wicks commemorative cookie. His dad was handing those out in the press box. They had some purple ones for Kansas State, where Jordan is going to play his college baseball. And I was looking. I don't know that this is even something he would think about. But Kansas State has 4 kickers on their team. Thought, what if he got up there and decided to walk on and kick for Kansas State? But there are 4 kickers, so
yeah,
they'll probably stick to baseball. Lloyd, pressured. Matt Lloyd, no relation, putting the pressure on him and helps him up. Good to see that.
Really good job there by those linebackers reading that play near perfectly and then making sure they got back into their coverage, there was just nowhere to go for Lloyd except into the arms of Lloyd. That's getting confusing. Lloyd with 2 L's
is Matt Lloyd
versus Lloyd with Matt. 1 L.
Their Hunter Lloyd. And the dad, who's the head coach, is Mike.
I don't know if I could do that. You know what I mean? Coach your own son. That would be difficult. I'm sure they have some.
Well, Hunter said his dad's his best friend.
Okay.
So nice article about them from earlier in the year. He's also his head coach, so he probably wants to say nice things. Pitch to McWhorter. He is tripped up and falls at the 32. Will Kennedy and Jackson Freeman. I don't know I think you saw it last week, but at the end of the game, when all the players gathered around Coach, they went and sang the alma mater and they saluted the student section. It was a pretty emotional time, obviously, losing on senior night and losing to Bryant. And everybody made their way off the field except for Will Kennedy. And
oh, yeah, I did see that.
We've got...
I took a picture of it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We've got some work that we do after the game, some post-game work that we do, breaking it down, the highlight show that we do. And it takes us about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes after. And it was every bit of that Will Kennedy was sitting by himself on the bench, just in thought.
Yeah.
Just, whatever it was, just dealing with and thinking through that final regular season game. But I hope part of his thought process was that the season's not gone. What we want, if you achieve the goal that you want, nobody's going to remember that you lost to Bryant in Week 10.
Yeah, Stat's got a picture of him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was out there for a long time.
Very long time.
Yeah, well after everyone else had left the field. And I think, when you're a senior and you know how good you are this year, how good this team is, and the potential.
Yes.
I think you let those losses sink in so that you just don't take it for granted, right? Especially closing out the regular season and getting ready to go into the next season that really matters.
And I think, this season has been a week on, week off for visiting or home games and away games. And so having back-to-back home games, being able to get right back on the field, get right back to work. And now they're not going to have to wait a full week to play again. They've got some momentum after this going into Thursday against a Bentonville West team that has a spectacular receiver. All reports of this receiver for Bentonville West is he's as good as there is in the state, if not more. But still, it's a team that obviously a school that's very new. They're only the second year that they've been around, but they built the Bentonville West program to have success. They didn't build it for one school to be good and the other one to not be good. They built them for both to be good, and this year they've proven that. So, we'll go in next week, and it obviously looks like unless something crazy happens, we're going to get the win here, and we'll be playing Thursday night against a Wolverine team. Obviously, real easy to look at the series between Conway and Bentonville West. They haven't played.
Right.
It'll be the first matchup ever
brand new
between these two teams. Lloyd's pass is complete to McWhorter. Check that. That's Ross. He is brought down by Logan White. Again, great to see Logan White on the field. He was a starter at linebacker. Injured and missed 5 games, and he's back in the fold, just adding to the depth. DJ Fuller in the game, number 23, another inside linebacker. (41-14). The Cats are up big. Just under 7 minutes to play, and then we'll get ready for Bentonville West. That's McWhorter. Short gain, it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, it looks like there's about 2 minutes left to go in Springdale between Harbor and Northside. Score remains Northside up 21-9. Looks like they're going to pull off the upset.
Yeah, that's huge. Third down and 3. Pass is complete. Sims makes the catch, and he'll get it the first down.
And that is a final. at Harbor. 21-9, Northside picks up the upset.
How about that? 21-9, Northside, the 5 seed, moves on to take on North Little Rock next week. So that guarantees a team out of the Central is going to make it into the semifinals. McWhorter slung down in front of his own bench, still spinning.
Some breakdancing over there.
Good win for Mike Fallure and the Northside Grizzlies.
I know, right? Hopefully they got one more in them. if I'm being honest here.
Hey, and that's
and we'd have a home game if we won.
If Northside were to go to North Little Rock and win, and we were to go to Bentonville West and win next Thursday night, we would host Northside here.
A lot of ifs, but
yeah,
it's not outside the realm of possibility.
The first if of all of those had to be a win tonight, and we're 5-11 away from that being official. Cats on top, 41-14. McWhorter, the senior, playing his final game. We talked about the number of sophomores on this team. There's a couple of seniors, and they played on this field a year ago. McWhorter, McGlynn, both guys that we saw play a year ago here.
I love how strong this defense is still playing here in the fourth quarter. You'd expect nothing less from these guys, but man, oh man, Dovey and Matt
Lloyd was there also. Yep.
Finishing strong there.
3rd down and 15, 4.5 to play in the game.
I feel a little out of sorts again. I feel like another trick play. That's my tell.
Is when they're out of sorts?
Yeah. No tricks.
Looking deep. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and he had Tez Miller beat by a step. It would have been a touchdown, but instead it's 4th down.
That's their guy, too, Drake. Their big play receiver, and he's going to be thinking about that one for the rest of the night.
Cabot has scored again to pull away from Springdale. So it looks like Cabot's going to get the win over Springdale. So that's another win for the Central.
And so they go to Bentonville.
They go to Bentonville High. So it's going to be Bentonville hosting Cabot next week, Bryant hosting Fayetteville, North Little Rock hosting Northside, and looks like Bentonville West is going to host us.
And listen, if there's any team that could go to Bentonville with the style of offense they play and shorten the game and really slow things down, I don't know, man.
It's Cabot. I mean, Malham's got the experience. He's got the system, and you know that's interesting. You get to this time of year, and you really, and if you look at the teams that are left, we've seen Bentonville, we've seen Cabot, we've seen Bryant, we've seen North Little Rock, we've seen Northside. So of the teams that are left, the only team we haven't seen play is Fayetteville, and the team we play next week, Bentonville West.
Let me throw some heresy at you here. What if after next week, all 4 teams left alive are from the 501 area code?
Hey, that'd be
a dream scenario.
I mean,
right?
It has been, and you look every year. How many years has it been? North Little Rock made it to the championship game a year ago, lost to Fayetteville, but it has been a long time since a Central Arkansas school has won the state title in the biggest classification. Under 4 minutes to go. New running back in, that is number 27, Jabrian Earl. 5'9", 186-pound sophomore that I know they have got big plans for.
Well, personally, I would love to see all the road teams win next week.
Okay.
Except for Fayetteville.
Okay.
And, let me rephrase this.
All right, I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
I would like to see all the road teams going to Bentonville next week win.
Okay, so us and Cabot.
Yeah, us and Cabot.
All right.
And then, because I would love to get another swing at North Little Rock and Bryant.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, they're the only teams in conference that beat us this year.
And especially if those games were to happen, what the stakes would be in those games. All right, to the 37-yard line is Earl. Another nice run. Talk about who's going to be taking the spot of a life without Michael George. Maybe it's Jabrian Earl. McEwen in at quarterback. Turns and hands the ball off to Earl. Get out to the 42-yard line. Zoel Vences is in the game. Robert Scott's in.
I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I like letting my imagination run.
I'm
a little
with
wild
that.
here in the playoffs.
Okay.
It's gonna be exciting next week. That's all I can say.
Slade Smith in the game, number 85. Yeah, I'm looking forward to digging into Bentonville West. I don't know much about them. I know they've got this one receiver that's great. I know that they split the schools with the idea of both being successful in mind, and we'll continue to do our research and be ready to go for next Thursday night. We'll have the road game for you live. 6:45 will be the airtime, and
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
too.
me too. Can't wait. Jabrian Earl with another carry. And we will have 7 o'clock kickoff next Thursday night. The Wampus Cats and the Wolverines.
We're gonna be the only show in town.
That's right.
In the state, probably. I haven't seen the other classifications, but I would say we might be the only game in the state.
The only reason there'd be a Thursday night game would be because of a scenario like this. It's Bailey out to the 45-yard line. Luke Bailey, another sophomore running back they're excited about.
Yeah, another name we've been hearing about off and on through the season.
That's right.
Stats. He goes to a lot of 10th grade games.
He's very busy. Very busy doing stats. Scouting.
Yeah, that's what he's doing for us.
Yeah.
And he feeds us the information that Luke Bailey is a stud. So excited to see him getting some carries.
90 seconds to go. McEwen will hand off to Bailey. Look, we'll get to the 43-yard line. And onto the field. Taking the spot at center that Damian Lopez had is Biscuit. Thomas Robertson in the game, number 77. Offensive lineman. Going to get a chance here. Third string center, the senior who is such a part of this team and just such a great kid. He gets a chance to play in the playoffs here in the final minute. Snap to McEwen. Hand off to Bailey. Luke will move the chains. The Conway Regional Health System first down. Hayes Denton is in the game, number 65. Nick Tufu is in, number 43. Nick scored a touchdown early in the year.
Carries it down 38 yards. First and 10, Wampus Cats.
Riley White's in, number 31. Clock to 35 seconds, and it will run completely out, and the Cats will officially get this win and join Cabot, Fayetteville, and Northside as winners tonight in the first round of the playoffs. Luke Bailey again. And that's it. Wampus Cats get a victory in the first round of the playoffs for the second year in a row with a trip to Northwest Arkansas next week. Final score 41-14. We'll take 60 seconds and come back on Conway Corp Channel 5.
It's that time of year again when shopping can be good for your health. Join the fun November 16th through 18th for Dazzle Days at the Conway Expo Center. Get in the Christmas spirit with the shopping extravaganza, featuring merchants with home decor, jewelry, gift items, and so much more. Plus, the kids can visit with Santa. Don't forget your chance to win a new 2017 Ford Mustang convertible. Get your tickets today by calling 501-513-5191 or visit dazzledays.com, benefiting Conway Regional Health Foundation.
Your life is about to change forever, and Conway Regional will be with you every step of the way. We're committed to being the best. That's why our OBGYNs won't deliver anywhere else. Your newborn will benefit from our groundbreaking nursery alliance with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And as you adapt to the new world that's in front of you, know that everyone at Conway Regional is all on the same team. Yours. One team, one promise. Conway Regional.
Final score 41-14. The Wampus Cats get the win. They improved to 8-3 overall in the season. Rogers ends their season at 5-6. The Cats will move on in the state playoffs next Thursday night. First meeting ever between Conway and Bentonville West as the Wampus Cats will take on the Wolverines on Thursday night. So final score 41-14. One of the big stats of tonight is a 0, and that's next to the name of Michael George. He was not needed tonight. He got that week of rest that we hoped he would be able to get.
Who would have thought we would be so excited for Michael George to not get any carries in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's a great number. And check out these numbers, Jeff. 503 total yards of offense for this Conway team tonight compared to just 211 for Rogers. So 259 in the air, 244 on the ground.
Okay, very
even
balanced.
without Michael George. Great balance from this team, spreading it around 85. Look at this. This is perfect. This couldn't be more perfect, Jeff. Brennan Clark and Kerry McLean both finished tonight with 85 yards, tied for the lead rushing numbers tonight. I mean, that's great.
Yes.
You know, these guys have to step up and perform, and they both put up 85 yards. That's amazing. Andrew Rhea, 12 of 25 for 237 and 4 touchdowns. Giovanni Johnson also had a passing touchdown in the first quarter, and Joe Thomas, leading receiver tonight, 4 receptions for 81 yards. Some big numbers all around. The one thing I would point out, though, for this team, in terms of things to clean up, a lot of drop passes. That's one thing.
Passes, yeah.
But a lot of penalties tonight, too, which has been kind of uncharacteristic for this Conway team. 8 penalties tonight for 76 yards. So definitely things to work on as we get ready for the second-round matchup at Bentonville West.
Well, and it's a whole different environment now. Now, this Wampus Cat team, it's not too far removed from playing a Thursday night game every year. We used to play a Thursday night game in Week 10 against Little Rock Catholic.
Yeah.
And so playing on Thursday night, now this group of players have not been through that. The coaches have been. And so how that changes your game plan, and everything gets moved up a day. And so what used to be they'd have Saturday to do Saturday things. Now they don't have Saturday to do Saturday things. They do Sunday things on Saturday, and so they do Monday things on Sunday. So everything gets moved up, and then they'll get on the bus and make the long trip on Thursday, and we'll be there as well with our entire Channel 5 crew to cover second round, Conway and Bentonville West.
No Michael George carries. Great night.
Very strange to say.
It feels weird to say that, but it couldn't have worked out more perfectly for this team tonight.
41-14, the final score. We thank you for watching, and we invite you to join us on Thursday night, 6:45, about 6:45, 6:50 will be our airtime. 7 o'clock is the kickoff, and we'll have that for you live from Bentonville West on Thursday night. Conway Corp Channel 5 and 585, and online at conwaycorp.com/WC to go. For Levi and for Stats, who's back there by the back door, and for our entire Channel 5 crew, there's some folks working today under the weather a little bit, so we appreciate everybody doing such a great job as always into Week 11. We'll have Week 12 for you on Thursday. Conway and Bentonville West coming up on Conway Corp Channel 5.